9 psychological signs someone secretly loves you. Old Stoic wisdom. Love often speaks in whispers, not shouts. Rumi. Have you ever caught someone stealing glances at you when they thought you weren't looking? Or noticed that smile lingering just a little too long? At times, they may even seem to pull away just as you're getting closer. You feel it, an unspoken connection. But is it love, or is your mind simply running wild? The truth is, love rarely announces itself with grand gestures. It communicates quietly, through actions that speak louder than words. When someone harbours secret affection for you, their behaviour often reveals their true feelings before they ever muster the courage to speak them aloud. As someone who has spent years studying human psychology and emotional bonds, I can tell you that these subtle signs are more than coincidence. The slight shift in their gaze, the softened tone of their voice, the small gestures of help they offer without you even asking, all of these are indicators that they might be silently in love with you. In this video, we will break down 13 psychological signs that someone may secretly be in love with you, even if they've never directly confessed it. Some of these might catch you off guard, while others may confirm the quiet hunch you've had for a while. Let's explore these clues together. Sign 1. The lingering glance. You need to understand this. Love often begins with the gaze. When someone harbours feelings for you, their eyes betray them long before their words or actions do. You will notice it, the subtle way their eyes linger on you, especially when they think you aren't paying attention. It's in those moments when you catch them staring, and just as quickly as your eyes meet, they look away, swiftly, almost as if they've been caught in a covert act. It's not by chance and it's not accidental. This is the brain's natural response to emotional attachment, known as attentional bias. When we emotionally invest in someone, we unconsciously seek them out in the crowd, our mind zeroing in on them, pulling us toward them. This is something we can't control, and the signs are clear to anyone paying attention. But here's where it gets interesting. That fast, almost embarrassed look away, it's not disinterest. Far from it. It's fear. Fear of exposure. Fear that their hidden emotions might become too obvious. The brief moment of eye contact is electric, yet terrifying, for someone harbouring secret affection. And the truth is, this is where the old Stoic wisdom comes into play. A man with an iron mind understands the power of restraint. The Stoic principles remind us to master our emotions and reactions, to exercise control. If you recognise this behaviour in someone, know that their gaze is giving them away, without them saying a word. It's the very embodiment of a heart filled with emotions they're too afraid to express. Don't overlook the subtle signs. The eyes rarely lie. Now think about this in real life. How often have you found yourself in a conversation with someone, and yet your attention drifts to something else? It's because your brain is constantly seeking what matters most to you. The same goes for those who are secretly in love. Their eyes will often find you, even if they try to hide it. As the Stoics would say, what we pay attention to reflects what we value most. It's the essence of emotional clarity in a world full of distractions. Acknowledge the lingering glance for what it is, an undeniable sign of secret affection, a moment where the heart speaks louder than the mind. Don't ignore it. Don't let the fleeting fear of exposure cloud your judgment. Instead, see it for what it is, and understand that deep emotions are often veiled in the simplest actions. Have you noticed someone's eyes lingering on you more often than you'd expect? Perhaps it's time to take note and reflect. What does this behaviour tell you about their feelings? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about the subtle ways love reveals itself. Sign 2. Their body faces you even when their words don't. Love has a remarkable way of showing itself before it is ever spoken, and sometimes it's the unspoken gestures that reveal the deepest emotions. When someone secretly loves you, they might try to hide it, acting distant or neutral, but their body is much less skilled at keeping secrets. No matter how they attempt to play it cool with their words, the body can't lie. You need to learn to read these subtle signs pay close attention to their body language, because often it speaks volumes. In a group, at a gathering, or even just sitting across the room, does their body seem to turn toward you, even when they're trying to appear unaffected? Do their feet almost instinctively point in your direction, even though their words might suggest indifference? Are they leaning in when you speak, despite their casual or nonchalant tone? These movements might seem trivial, but they are far from insignificant. What you're witnessing is what psychologists refer to as non-verbal orientation, a natural, unconscious behavior where the body aligns itself with what it craves or feels comforted by. The body, long before the mind, can recognize emotional truth, and even if someone tries to hide their affection with their words, their physical presence is still gravitating towards you. Their feet, posture, and subtle shifts in direction are the body's way of reaching out, showing what the heart may not be ready to admit. This isn't an accident. It's the body's language breaking through the restraint of the mind, a silent declaration of affection. In the practical stoicism of everyday life, this behavior illustrates an important concept. Feelings cannot always be controlled by our logical, verbal defenses. The Stoic rules remind us that while we may have control over our thoughts and speech, there are some things we cannot suppress, especially when it comes to emotional impulses. Even the most disciplined and self-controlled individual cannot always conceal the physical signs of attraction or love. These movements are not deliberate but instinctive. It's a reminder that even in the world of practical stoicism, there's room for vulnerability. Our bodies often reveal what our words cannot. Just as the Stoics understood the importance of mastering one's emotions, they also understood that not all human experiences are within the realm of reason or control. Our bodies, in their wisdom, speak a truth that the mind sometimes tries to ignore or suppress. So, what does this mean for modern life, and how can you use it to better understand the people around you? The next time you find yourself in the presence of someone who seems emotionally distant, notice the subtleties of their body language. You might find that, even if their words seem indifferent or aloof, their body tells a different story. This is a powerful lesson in how love, affection, and attraction don't always follow the rules of logic and speech. Sometimes someone might not be ready to confess their feelings aloud, but their body will tell you everything you need to know. Perhaps it's a slight lean toward you when you speak, or their eyes that linger just a little too long. These are the signs of attraction, the kind that speak louder than words. In modern life, we often rely on words to communicate our feelings, but the body, in its quiet way, speaks a much older, deeper language. You have to be attentive and listen to that language. These physical cues are an invitation to understand the true depth of what someone is experiencing, even if they don't yet have the courage or words to express it. And, just like the ancient Stoics might advise, you must remain aware that the heart often speaks before the mind has made its decision, and in that moment, you'll find the truest expression of love. If you've ever noticed someone's body subtly facing you, even when their words say otherwise, you're seeing a sign of something deeper. Their body can't lie, even when their mind tries to hide it. Now drop a comment below. I trust the truth of the body. Sign 3. Sudden nervousness around you. You've witnessed them effortlessly relaxed, confident, and even humorous in the company of others, yet when it's just the two of you, a noticeable change occurs. Their hands start fidgeting, their voice falters, they laugh at odd moments or appear to struggle with what to say. This isn't mere awkwardness, it's emotional overload. It's a sign that they are fighting an internal battle that you can't see. On a psychological level, this is linked to an elevated state of self-awareness, a reaction that's especially common when we're in the presence of someone we hold deep, unspoken feelings for. Their mind races, every part of them trying desperately to maintain composure, while simultaneously the heart's desire to reveal itself pushes against all attempts to control it. The shift isn't because they don't know how to act, it's because they feel vulnerable in your presence. This vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the very essence of love. And as the great Epictetus teaches on the paths of wisdom, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. So when they are fumbling for words or breaking into that awkward laugh, understand this. Their vulnerability is their way of showing they care, something deeper than mere attraction. In today's fast-paced world, we often overlook this human element. Don't. If you notice someone acting unnervingly different around you, it's a powerful signal. They are likely trying to hide their affection for fear of it being exposed or unreciprocated. This emotional fragility, this nervousness, is rooted in their desire to protect their heart, yet simultaneously, it reflects how deeply they've already invested in you. So instead of dismissing it as awkwardness, see it for what it truly is. The clear sign of someone teetering on the edge of their own emotional confession, caught between the desire for love and the fear of rejection. Stoicism teaches us to embrace vulnerability as a form of strength, and in this moment, your presence is testing that strength. The challenge here is to acknowledge this underlying truth, not as a sign of weakness, but as a deep, untold desire to connect. Don't let it go unnoticed. Recognize this as a potential love waiting to be acknowledged, a moment of quiet longing wrapped in vulnerability. Respond with openness. In this very instance, you have the power to create a safe space where that nervousness can transform into genuine connection. So if you're feeling this nervousness, take charge. Don't be passive. Step forward and create the path where both of you can embrace this beautiful yet terrifying vulnerability. And remember, the paths of wisdom don't ask you to hide your truth. They ask you to walk through it, face it head on, and allow it to strengthen your connection. You must act decisively and with courage. Recognize it, don't run from it, and let the strength of your awareness turn it into an opportunity. To win in love, you must first embrace vulnerability, just as the Stoics have taught. So, if you've seen this nervousness, don't ignore it. Recognize it for what it is, a doorway to a deeper emotional connection that waits for you to step in. Sign 4. They remember tiny details. How often have you casually mentioned your favourite coffee or a simple childhood memory, only for them to surprise you weeks or even months later with exactly what you mentioned? It's not coincidence. It's deliberate. When someone secretly loves you, their mind doesn't just listen. It absorbs every word, every little nuance, and stores it away in the vault of their heart. This isn't just good memory. It's selective attention, a psychological phenomenon where the mind tunes in to what the heart is most drawn to. They don't forget the things that others might overlook because, in their eyes, every little thing about you matters. When you share a fleeting thought, they hold on to it like a precious treasure. And it's not just about remembering a favourite coffee or a childhood story. It's about demonstrating a deeper level of emotional focus, a connection that goes beyond superficial interactions. Every time they bring up something you thought you had long forgotten, it's not a random event. It's their way of showing you that they are tuned into your life, your interests, and your past. This kind of behaviour reflects a quiet form of affection, a form of love that doesn't seek validation from grand gestures, but rather from the attention to the little things. It's subtle, but incredibly powerful. When someone loves you this deeply, they are not only remembering things you've said, they are showing you that your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences matter to them. This is a sign of emotional intelligence, a deep understanding that love isn't about flashy expressions of affection, but about noticing the small things that often go unnoticed. It's the practical stoicism in action, focusing on the details that truly matter. The Stoic rules tell us to live with intention and awareness, and this is precisely what they do. They are intentional in remembering and aware of the smallest things that reveal your essence. The power of this kind of attentiveness is not just in the remembering, but in the depth of connection it creates. In the modern world, it's easy to be distracted by the noise and chaos that surrounds us. We often get caught up in the big events, the flashy displays of affection, but in the end, it's the small, quiet moments that truly reflect the depth of love. And it's in these moments that the love of someone who remembers the details shines through. When they remember, or you've long forgotten, it's a sign that their love is not only present but deep, grounded in the most sincere form of connection. They care about you in ways that words cannot express, showing their affection through the smallest acts of attention. The beauty of love like this is that it doesn't require a grand gesture to be meaningful. It's in the quiet, thoughtful acts that speak the loudest. This kind of love isn't just about nostalgia or sentimentality. It's about respect and attentiveness, the kind of respect that is often lacking in modern relationships, where we can be quick to overlook the things that matter. In a world where it's easy to focus on the superficial, this kind of focus on the details speaks volumes. It's a reminder that love is not just in the big moments, but in the small, seemingly insignificant ones. When someone loves you like this, it's not just about remembering your favorite coffee. It's about showing you that they care enough to notice the details. And in these details, love reveals itself not in loud, sweeping declarations, but in quiet, unspoken moments that stay with you long after they've passed. So pay attention to those who remember. Don't dismiss their gestures, no matter how small. These are not just signs of affection. They are signs of love in its most genuine, most enduring form. In a world that often values speed over substance, they are taking the time to truly know you. They live by the Stoic rules, embracing the quiet power of attention to detail, and it is in this attention that you'll find the most profound love. Keep your eyes open for those who show you this kind of respect and care, because they are not only showing you they love you, but they are teaching you the value of true connection in a world that so often overlooks it. If you recognize the power of the small, quiet details that truly reflect deep love, drop a comment below right now. I cherish the small things that matter most. Real love isn't loud. It's in the subtle moments that speak the loudest. Sign 5. They mirror your movements or speech. Have you ever noticed someone crossing their arms when you do, or picking up on the phrases you often use, almost as if they are in tune with your very essence? This isn't mere coincidence. It's a profound sign of emotional connection. In psychology, we call this behavior mirroring, a subconscious action that occurs when someone feels emotionally aligned with another person. When someone secretly loves you, their mind begins to mirror yours in ways they often don't consciously realize. Their posture, gestures, and even the rhythm of their voice will start to match yours. Subtle yet powerful signals that reveal an unspoken bond. Why does this happen? Because mirroring, much like the Stoic rules of emotional resilience and balance, is an instinctive way for individuals to feel closer to one another. It's a reflection of the desire for closeness, to align with another person's world without necessarily saying a word. This action is a silent admission. I feel what you feel. I want to belong in your world. It's not about mimicry. It's a natural synchronization of emotional states and a clear demonstration of love or affection. In practical Stoicism, this concept connects deeply with the idea that emotions and actions are deeply intertwined, shaping our experiences and interactions. When someone mirrors you, they are subtly telling you that they resonate with your energy, that they are experiencing the same emotional rhythms. Their body language becomes the unspoken dialogue that expresses what words may not. This could be something as simple as adopting a similar posture when you sit together or echoing the pace of your speech in conversations. This is the subconscious mind's way of demonstrating connection, a reflection of mutual respect and shared understanding. In the hustle and chaos of modern life, where verbal communication often dominates, this silent, non-verbal exchange is a powerful form of connection. It's in the little things, like the way they subtly mimic your gestures or adopt your favorite expressions. These are the details that make up the profound, emotional undercurrent of a relationship. Even if their lips never confess it, their body language might already be speaking volumes in your emotional language. The Stoics, with their wisdom on emotional clarity and virtue, would see this mirroring as a manifestation of one of the deepest forms of connection between people. It's an acknowledgement of shared values, emotions, and perceptions, something far beyond the transactional interactions most people have in their daily lives. In their view, mirroring represents an alignment of personal energy, a bond forged not by words, but through mutual understanding and respect. The beauty of this lies in its subtlety. Mirroring doesn't require grand gestures or declarations. It's in the quiet, unnoticed moments when two people are so in sync that their actions become a shared expression of love. It's a dance of connection, where both individuals unconsciously move in harmony, without the need to announce their feelings. In today's world, where relationships are often clouded by distractions and superficial exchanges, this type of connection is rare and deeply significant. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most profound bonds are not verbalized. They're felt in the way someone mirrors your actions and emotions. This is the beauty of nonverbal communication. It transcends the limitations of words and reveals something deeper about how two people relate to one another. It shows that even if someone doesn't express their feelings outright, their actions can reveal their innermost thoughts. This is where the power of Stoic principles comes into play. They teach us that actions often speak louder than words, and the most meaningful connections are those that arise naturally, without force. So when you notice someone mirroring your movements or speech, don't brush it off. Understand that their body is reflecting a deeper emotional connection. It's a clear sign that they feel a bond with you, even if they haven't put it into words yet. Pay attention to these subtle cues, because they might be the truest expression of how someone feels about you. It's an invitation to acknowledge that, despite the absence of verbal declarations, a powerful, almost unspoken relationship is unfolding between you. You might not hear the words, "I love you," from their lips, but in their every movement, gesture, and tone, the message is clear. I'm with you, and I want to share this connection. This is the beauty of emotional synchronization, and it speaks volumes about the love and affection someone might secretly feel for you. Sign 6. They get jealous but stay silent. There's a moment, a fleeting moment, when you mention someone new, perhaps a friend or even a date, and their expression betrays them. You might not notice the brief flicker of discomfort, or the sudden, forced smile, or how they quickly change the topic. They say nothing, yet the silence is deafening. This is not a mere avoidance of drama. It's a hidden jealousy, an unmistakable sign that someone secretly loves you. It doesn't always erupt into confrontation or tantrums. No, the most dangerous form of jealousy is the one that moves quietly, under the surface, with subtlety and restraint. It manifests in the smallest of shifts, a slight tension in the jaw, a dip in energy, or a sudden distance in the conversation that leaves you feeling the weight of unspoken words. Let's be clear. Jealousy is not about mere possessiveness. It's about fear. The fear of losing something you never really had, something you still deeply desire. And if those feelings remain unspoken, buried under layers of silence, they linger in a tension you can almost taste. They hope silently that you won't notice. But I'm telling you this, you must notice. You must always be vigilant in recognizing the signs that others are trying to hide. Epictetus taught us that true wisdom comes from observing and understanding the deeper currents of emotion. And when you see this, it's a clear sign you've hit upon one of the paths of wisdom. In modern life, you must be able to recognize these subtle shifts. Often, we overlook these silent markers of affection. But let me tell you this. Those who hide their emotions through silence are sometimes the ones who are most deeply affected. Recognize it. Don't be blind to the signs. In today's world, where relationships can feel shallow and transient, learning to read the unspoken signals of love and affection is not just useful, it's powerful. It gives you an edge. It allows you to connect with others on a deeper level. And if you want to truly understand the people around you, especially those who may secretly care about you, start noticing these silent cues. Be like the Stoics, never passive, always alert, always learning. Know thyself, as Epictetus said. When someone stays silent out of jealousy, they are revealing more than they realize. They are revealing their deepest fears, the ones they're afraid to face. You must see them. You must understand. And you must act on that knowledge. It's time to unlock the wisdom hidden in plain sight. You must read between the lines. Notice the pauses, the silences, the subtle changes. It's these very moments that hold the truth of what's really going on beneath the surface. You can either be passive and let these moments slip away, or you can seize them. The choice is yours. So remember this. Jealousy isn't about what's said, it's about what's not said. It's about what they're too afraid to voice. You must look deeper. And in that silence, in that stillness, lies the power to understand the most hidden feelings of those around you. The paths of wisdom have always been about the subtle things, what's unsaid, what's beneath the surface. You can either choose to ignore these moments, or you can use them to strengthen your connections, to understand your own emotions, and to guide your actions. The silent jealousy of others is a treasure trove of insight, if you have the wisdom to see it. This is what Stoicism teaches us, and this is how we win in the complex world of human relationships. Don't let these moments pass unnoticed. Take charge and master the art of reading the unsaid. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Sign 7. They offer help, even when it's inconvenient. When you're overwhelmed, worn down, or simply having one of those days where everything feels like it's piling up, take a moment to notice the people who always seem to show up when you need them most. It's not just that they offer comforting words, but they show up with actions that speak volumes. Whether it's running an errand for you, staying up late to lend a listening ear, or even putting aside their own plans to be there when you need help the most, these actions speak louder than any grand gesture. And here's the thing. It's not just about basic kindness. This is a deep, almost self-sacrificial behavior. It's a hallmark of someone who has an emotional investment in your well-being, someone who cares far beyond surface-level politeness. This goes beyond just being a good friend or a supportive partner. This is love, quietly but powerfully expressed. Psychologically, this kind of behavior is rooted in self-sacrifice. It's the emotional equivalent of placing your needs, your comfort, your peace above their own. And that's not something everyone is willing to do. When someone secretly loves you, their well-being becomes inextricably linked to yours. They cannot sit idly by when you're struggling. Even if they're having their own difficulties, they'll still find a way to help you. Because your struggles become their struggles, and your peace becomes their peace. This may sound dramatic, but it's deeply rooted in how humans emotionally connect with one another. The Old Stoics, with their iron minds and unwavering principles, understood this well. They knew that love isn't always about grand, emotional declarations. It's about showing up when it counts, when it costs you something, when you put the other person's needs above your own. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. This principle echoes in the silent selflessness of someone who loves you deeply. They don't need the world to see their sacrifice. They do it because it's right, because they believe it's worth it. So when they help, even when it's inconvenient, when they rearrange their plans to make sure you're not alone, when they offer support without hesitation, it's not just about kindness, it's love in action. And it's a love that doesn't require words to be understood. They may never say, "I love you," but you'll see it in every action they take. They show it in the way they carry the weight of your struggles, even as they battle their own personal challenges. They might never expect anything in return, because for them, the act of showing up for you is its own reward. The idea of love as sacrifice is not new. It's been a part of human nature for centuries, and it's embodied in the principles of Stoicism. Those old Stoic philosophies that prioritize inner strength, responsibility, and loyalty above all else. These principles, coupled with the iron mind required to live them consistently, form the bedrock of the quiet, steady love someone may offer you without a word spoken. It's easy to assume that love is only about grand gestures or declarations. We often look for words, for promises, for some sort of dramatic proclamation to confirm that someone cares for us. But real love often doesn't need words. It doesn't need the spotlight or public recognition. It's in the way someone shows up when they know you're struggling, even when it's inconvenient. It's in their quiet, persistent actions that signal they're emotionally invested in your happiness, that they genuinely care about your well-being. They don't need to say, "I love you," because they're already showing it in everything they do for you. And that is the power of love, when it is lived, not just spoken. In our busy modern world, it's easy to overlook the value of these quiet acts of love. We live in a time when words are cheap, and everyone is constantly seeking attention or validation. But the old Stoics understood that true strength, true love lies in quiet, deliberate actions. "He who is brave is free," wrote Seneca. True bravery and love is not in shouting from the rooftops, but in showing up when you're needed most, in giving of yourself without the need for recognition or reciprocation. This is love as action, love as sacrifice, love as a principle lived out every day. So, if someone is consistently there for you in your times of need, when it's inconvenient, when it costs them something, they're not just being nice, they're demonstrating a deep, genuine affection for you. This is someone who understands the true meaning of love, the quiet, selfless act of showing up no matter what. Sign 8. Their friends act weird around you. Have you ever noticed how their friends seem to behave differently when you're around? Maybe they start teasing them more than usual, exchange knowing glances, or suddenly grow quiet, as if they're hiding something. Don't ignore these subtle shifts. It's not a coincidence. Friends, much like those close to us, can often pick up on signals we're trying to hide, emotions we haven't yet dared to express. This is known as the social ripple effect in psychology, a phenomenon where the dynamics of a person's social circle shift when they're secretly harboring feelings for someone. When someone loves you in silence, those closest to them become aware of it, even before it's spoken aloud. A slight blush, a lingering glance, an offhand comment, they may notice these little details, and without saying anything, they start to act differently in response. Friends often become unwitting protectors or gentle encouragers, quietly supporting a love story that hasn't yet found its voice. They might tease or playfully nudge the person they care about, encouraging them to take a step forward. This behavior is a reflection of practical stoicism in action. While the lover may be hesitant to admit their feelings outright, their friends, often wiser in observing human nature, are less restrained and give subtle hints that encourage the inevitable. Their behavior can feel like a nudge from the universe, reminding both of you that perhaps the time has come for the truth to surface. These moments are not just playful distractions, they are key signals that point to a deeper truth. If you're noticing this, it's not just about being aware of someone's friend's actions. It's a reflection of the Stoic rules of human nature, those subtle emotional cues that can help guide your understanding of the situation. In modern life, these signs are everywhere, and paying attention to them can lead to moments of clarity. Take this as a reminder. The universe doesn't leave things to chance. Sometimes the people around us know our feelings even before we do. It's all about observing the signals that reveal themselves in the smallest of gestures. So, if you feel the energy shifting when you're around their friends, pay attention. It's not just them acting weird, it's their way of telling you that love is quietly being nurtured in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to come to light. Sign 9. They laugh at your jokes, even the bad ones. At first glance, this might seem like nothing more than polite laughter, a simple social gesture that holds little weight. But if you look closer, you'll understand that this reaction is far more significant than just a brief chuckle. Laughter, especially in the context of a developing or hidden affection, is a powerful emotional tool, a bridge that closes the distance between two people. When someone secretly loves you, their brain craves emotional connection, a sense of closeness that words cannot always convey. This is where laughter comes in. It is their way of expressing a desire to be close to you, to share moments with you, even the most trivial ones. They laugh at your jokes, no matter how good or bad, because it gives them a reason to feel connected. even when the humor falls flat. It doesn't matter. The laughter is an unconscious, emotional offering, a subtle declaration that, in that moment, they want to be part of your world. They may not say it outright, but their laughter tells you, I am here. I want to be near you. I enjoy your presence. This is a form of emotional vulnerability, and it carries weight. The more someone secretly loves you, the more they will show this vulnerability. It's not about the joke itself. It's about the emotional bond that's being forged. One laugh at a time. Take a moment to consider this. How often do we dismiss the subtle signs people give us because we're too busy focusing on the obvious ones? In the paths of wisdom, as Epictetus would say, it's not the big, dramatic moments that define us. It's the small, consistent actions that reveal the truest form of our emotions. What you may perceive as a meaningless laugh is, in fact, a deep-rooted expression of affection, a hint of their feelings that they might not be ready to admit aloud. In modern life, we often overlook these nuances, too focused on grand gestures and overt declarations of love. Yet, true emotional intimacy doesn't always announce itself in loud ways. It's in these subtle moments, like a genuine laugh at a bad joke, that you'll find the most profound connections. Think about the times you've laughed with someone, not because the situation was funny, but because the act of laughing together created a shared experience, a moment of connection. That's what you're experiencing when they laugh at your jokes, even the ones that fall flat. Their laughter is not just about your humor, it's about your presence, your ability to make them feel seen, understood, and valued. This is how people fall in love, not with grandiose gestures, but with the quiet, everyday exchanges that build a foundation of trust and connection. Now, let's talk about how this ties into the principles of Stoicism. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is the idea of emotional control, understanding that our emotions are not dictated by external circumstances, but by our own perceptions and responses. In this sense, when someone laughs at your joke, they are not merely reacting to the joke itself. They are choosing to invest in the connection. This is a conscious, deliberate act of emotional engagement. It's a step towards something deeper. And just as Epictetus would advise, you must be aware of these emotional signals. When you see them, don't dismiss them. Recognize their importance and use them to cultivate deeper, more meaningful relationships. In your own life, how often do you miss the small signs of affection because you're too focused on the big picture? How often do you overlook the laughter, the smiles, the quiet moments that tell you someone cares? The paths of wisdom encourage you to notice these moments. They are not trivial, they are significant. Every time someone laughs at your joke, even if it's a bad one, they are opening a door to emotional intimacy. And you, in turn, must open that door, recognizing the opportunity for connection. Don't take these signs for granted. Appreciate them. Embrace them. Allow these small moments to guide you toward greater emotional fulfillment. In today's world, where everything moves fast and people are constantly distracted, it's easy to overlook these subtle cues. But the path of wisdom teaches us to slow down, to be mindful of the present moment. When someone laughs at your joke, they are telling you they want to be with you. They are signaling that they see you, that they value your presence even in the smallest of ways. This is a powerful form of communication, one that you should not ignore. Instead, recognize it for what it is, a sign of love in its purest, most vulnerable form. As you move forward in your relationships, remember this. It's not always the loudest, most dramatic gestures that matter the most. It's the quiet moments, the laughter, the subtle signs of affection that often hold the most meaning. Don't let these moments slip by unnoticed. They are telling you everything you need to know about how someone feels. The next time someone laughs at your joke, remember this. They are not just responding to your humor. They are telling you they want to be close to you. Don't take that lightly. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you found these signs as eye-opening as I did. Remember, love doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers in the quietest of moments, those subtle looks, touches, and silences. If any of these signs resonate with you, trust your instincts. The heart often understands things the eyes cannot see. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever felt someone's secret love? Or maybe you've been the one keeping it to yourself? Drop a comment below and share your story. I can't wait to read them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's continue exploring the fascinating world of love and human connection together. Thanks again for watching. And remember, sometimes the most powerful love is the one that whispers. 11 hidden signs they're thinking about you right now. Old Stoic wisdom. Psychology teaches us that when someone is truly emotionally connected to you, their thoughts resonate with energy. Even if they don't speak a word or send a message, you can feel their presence within you. It's a deep, unspoken connection that transcends distance or silence. Somewhere deep within, they're thinking of you. The universe subtly hints at it, sending quiet signals straight to your heart. In today's exploration, we'll uncover 13 profound psychological signs that someone's thoughts are centered on you, not out of obligation, but from the depths of their soul, with true sincerity. Number 1. When you think about someone, their emotions can travel to you in ways you might not even recognize. The Old Stoic wisdom speaks to the power of connection between minds and hearts. It suggests that the emotions we feel are not always our own. They can be influenced by those we are emotionally connected to. You've probably experienced it yourself, a sudden wave of sadness, joy, or anxiety, seemingly for no reason at all. This isn't a mere coincidence. This is a deeper, unseen force at work, something the Stoics knew well. It's a psychological phenomenon known as affective empathy, where intense emotions, whether love, longing, guilt, or even missing someone, are transmitted from one heart to another. In simple terms, it's emotional telepathy, the recognition that someone's thoughts can resonate with you, influencing how you feel. Consider this. When someone's thoughts are strong and heartfelt, they create an energy, a psychological resonance that travels to you, reaching you even without them saying a word. It's as if your subconscious is tuned into their emotional frequency. The Old Stoics understood that the mind is a powerful force, that it can shape not only your own life, but also those around you. The concept of iron mind is crucial here. A strong, disciplined mind doesn't just resist external forces, it also attracts and responds to them. This principle reflects a deep truth in life. Your mental state is connected to others. It's not a mystical idea, but a very real psychological reality. The Stoic principles teach us that we must be attuned to this connection and control the flow of our emotions. They understood that emotions don't happen in a vacuum. The emotions we feel are influenced by our relationships, by those we are bound to in both subtle and obvious ways. And in this way, the Stoic knows how to manage and channel these feelings. The next time you feel a shift in your mood, don't just assume it's coming from within. Take a moment to ask yourself, could this be the emotion of someone close to me? The ability to discern where your emotions are coming from and whether they are truly your own or someone else's is a key part of developing a strong, iron mind. Furthermore, the Stoics believed that by understanding and accepting the impermanence of emotions, we gain power over them. You must never be a slave to fleeting feelings. Feelings may come and go, but you must remain steadfast, grounded in your own sense of purpose. This is the essence of Stoicism, to maintain your inner peace despite external forces. The great philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This wisdom reinforces the idea that you can control how you respond to emotions, both your own and those that resonate from others. By learning to recognize the subtle emotional shifts between you and those you're emotionally connected to, you can cultivate a mindset that is not only reactive but proactive. This understanding allows you to navigate relationships with greater clarity and control, applying the strength of your iron mind to maintain composure in the face of emotional turbulence. The Stoic mindset empowers you to stay grounded in the present, even when you feel the emotional pull of others. It's about mastering the art of emotional distance, understanding that while emotions are contagious, you don't have to be swept away by them. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Have you ever experienced a sudden change in mood without any clear cause? Perhaps it was a sign that someone close to you was thinking about you, or their emotions were resonating with yours. Recognizing this connection allows you to become more aware of the world around you, and more importantly, aware of the power your mind has in shaping your reality. Remember, mastering your emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. It means understanding where they come from and using that knowledge to navigate life with strength and wisdom. Don't ignore the emotional signals around you. Tune in to the subtle currents of emotion, recognize when others' feelings are affecting you, and understand that the energy you send out also reaches others. Harness the power of effective empathy. Develop your iron mind and apply the Old Stoic principles to master your emotional landscape. Embrace your emotional intelligence and share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever felt this deep, unseen connection with someone? Let us know your experience. Number 2. There are moments in life when you'll fully engage in what you're doing, whether it's work, a hobby, or some daily task, and then, out of nowhere, their name suddenly pops into your mind. It's as if someone just whispered it to you, without you ever intending to think about them. You weren't even consciously focused on them, so why is it happening? This is not just coincidence, it's a powerful and subtle psychological phenomenon. Your brain is constantly processing information, both consciously and subconsciously, and sometimes certain triggers cause memories to resurface. But it's not only the brain that's at play here. According to ancient wisdom and practical stoicism, everything in the universe is interconnected, and what we experience physically and mentally is often a reflection of deeper emotional or spiritual connections. In a more metaphysical sense, this could be your mind and soul picking up on the vibrations of someone's thoughts. Think about it. The human heart isn't just a pump. It generates an electromagnetic field. This field is said to radiate out, and when someone thinks about you, especially with strong emotion or love, their energy, their vibrations, might reach yours. This connection happens on a subtle level, one that's not always easy to explain with science alone, but when their name appears in your mind, seemingly without reason, it may very well be their energy reaching you or your energy reaching them. This is where the Stoic rules come into play, reminding you that not everything needs to be explained or understood immediately. Instead, you should focus on what is in your control, your response. The next time their name flashes in your thoughts, don't brush it off as coincidence. Embrace the moment. Ask yourself why you're feeling this sudden connection. Is it a call to reach out to them, or simply a sign that they too may be thinking about you? In the context of practical stoicism, this is a moment of mindfulness, a chance to connect with your own emotions, to observe without judgment, and to remain steady in the face of uncertainty. Instead of letting these moments pass unnoticed, take control of them. Use them as opportunities for introspection, understanding, and possibly taking action. Don't dismiss these subtle signs as random events. They may be guiding you towards something significant in your relationship with this person. And remember, this connection is not just about emotional or spiritual energy. In the world of Stoicism, we are constantly reminded that there are forces outside of our control, but that our actions, our responses, and our awareness are always in our hands. Stay grounded, stay mindful, and let these mysterious moments serve as reminders of the intricate web that connects us all. If this resonates with you, drop a comment right now. I am open to the hidden signs around me. The universe speaks in whispers, but your awareness is your power. Number 3. In the hustle and bustle of life, we often overlook the subtle signs that reveal much about the unseen currents of human connection. The ancient paths of wisdom, especially those laid down by the Stoics like Epictetus, remind us that the mind is not just a passive observer, but an active participant in the world around us. So, what if I told you that there are 13 signs that someone is thinking about you right now? Let's dive into one that stands out, one that many ignore: dreams. If you've ever woken up with an intense emotional charge, like sadness, love, or comfort, and realized that the source of these emotions was a specific person, don't ignore it. This isn't just random. Dreams are far more than fragmented images of our daily lives. They're the brain's powerful tool for decoding emotional energy. When someone is deeply fixated on you, their emotional energy often spills into your dreams. This is what the psychologists call the emotional residue effect, a phenomenon where your subconscious mind picks up on the emotional energy of others, sometimes with such clarity that it feels like their presence is right there with you. The deeper truth? If you wake up with your emotions tied to this person, whether it's a sense of longing, sadness, or warmth, it means something powerful has occurred. Your souls may have connected, even if only briefly. In the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, Epictetus teaches that our hearts are often tied not by physical proximity, but by the invisible threads of emotion and thought. What you experience in your dreams, particularly when you feel an overwhelming emotional pull towards someone, could be the universe's way of telling you that their heart is linked to yours, even from afar. Don't ignore this. There is power in what you're feeling. The emotional ties we form, whether strong or fleeting, are not random. They are a manifestation of an invisible bond. This is where modern life meets ancient philosophy. In a world bombarded by distractions, it's easy to dismiss these feelings as mere chance. But deep down, you know better. You know that there is more to life than what appears on the surface. The paths of wisdom, from the teachings of Epictetus to the timeless principles of Stoicism, remind us that we must pay attention to what is truly important, our connections with others. And often, those connections aren't confined to the waking world. They bleed into the space where we dream. Now, you might be wondering, what should you do with this knowledge? You must start by acknowledging the significance of what you feel. Don't write off the emotional weight that these dreams bring. Embrace it. Reflect on it. Recognize that someone's energy is reaching out to you, and take that as a powerful sign that you are on their mind, just as they are on yours. Take control. Use this awareness to understand your relationships better. Don't just passively wait for life to unfold around you. You must act. If you are feeling this emotional pull, whether it's from love, longing, or sadness, acknowledge it and let it guide you toward deeper connections or clarity in your own life. You must understand that these signs are not mere coincidences. This is the world's way of showing you that there is more to life than meets the eye. The emotional residue you're picking up on could very well be the key to understanding deeper truths in your relationships. Here's what you need to do. Don't dismiss your dreams. Understand that when they repeat, they are more than just echoes of your mind. There is meaning in the repeated emotional patterns, and in those moments, you must be open to the possibility that someone else is thinking about you, possibly with the same intensity as you are thinking about them. The Stoic wisdom of Epictetus teaches us to see beyond the surface and to understand that everything happens for a reason. The emotional cords between us, invisible yet powerful, may be pulling you towards someone right now. Don't resist the call. Embrace it. Let the wisdom of the ancients guide you to a deeper understanding of the emotional connections in your life. It's time for you to step forward, grasp the opportunity, and move beyond passive thinking. You must acknowledge these signs and act accordingly. Let them serve as a reminder to stay connected, to understand the power of emotional energy, and to live your life with the understanding that the universe is always at work, pushing you toward the connections that matter most. Don't miss out. Pay attention to the signs and use them to strengthen your path forward. Number 4. As you navigate through life, have you ever experienced a sudden, unexpected wave of comfort during your lowest moments? The kind of calm that washes over you when you're heavy with emotion, like someone has wrapped their arms around your soul, lifting a weight you didn't even know you were carrying? Don't brush it off as coincidence or mere fantasy. This phenomenon has a deeper connection to the core of human existence and energy. The Stoics, with their iron mind and wisdom, understood that there is an invisible bond between us, one that is driven by intention, thought, and emotion. According to energetic psychology, the power of heartfelt thoughts is not just a romantic ideal. It's a tangible force that influences your inner state. When someone is thinking of you, praying for you, or sending you love from a place of sincerity, your energy reacts. This is not just a random fluctuation. It's your heart's response to their energy. The Stoic principles, which emphasize emotional resilience and self-awareness, also acknowledge that the thoughts of others can deeply affect us, but they don't weaken us. Instead, they remind us of our shared humanity and strength. Imagine someone who deeply misses you or is quietly wishing you well from afar. Without even saying a word, their energy reaches out to you, and your inner being responds, sometimes in ways that words cannot explain. This isn't magic. It's the power of connection and empathy. As the Old Stoic wisdom teaches us, while we cannot always control the thoughts and actions of others, we can control how we react to them. You must realize that this subtle shift in your emotional state is a reminder that you're not alone in your struggles, that others are thinking of you, praying for you, and silently supporting you through their love. The next time you feel that unexpected comfort, don't dismiss it. Instead, embrace it as the reminder of the profound, unseen bonds that exist between people. The iron mind that the Stoics so often spoke of is not just about strength. It's about understanding that we are all connected on a deeper level, and sometimes the thoughts of others can guide us toward the peace we seek. Take a moment to reflect on this and consider how your own thoughts and intentions can help those around you. What can you do to send out the same comfort to someone else in their time of need? It's a cycle of empathy and connection that transcends time and space. Your heart speaks to others just as theirs speaks to you. Share your thoughts in the comments section. Has someone's energy ever reached out to you in a way that comforted you during tough times? Let's talk about how we can all apply these old Stoic principles in our everyday lives to strengthen those invisible bonds. If you've ever felt that unexpected wave of comfort during your hardest moments, that's no coincidence. It's a reminder of the invisible bond we share with others. The Stoics knew the power of these unseen connections, and now it's your turn to reflect. How can you send out that same comfort to someone else? Drop a comment right now. I am the energy that brings comfort. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remember, your thoughts have the power to guide someone else toward peace. Number 5. As an old Stoic would advise, you must not overlook the power of the body's signals when it comes to emotional connection. Often, without warning, you may experience random physical sensations, such as a sudden flutter in your chest, a warmth spreading across your heart, or even goosebumps seemingly without cause. These sensations, while subtle, carry a deeper significance, one that transcends the physical realm. Your body, in its infinite wisdom, can feel emotions before your mind even processes them. This is no mere coincidence. It is a profound sign that your body is reacting to something beyond the visible. In Stoic philosophy, we are reminded to cultivate an iron mind, but even the iron mind must acknowledge that emotions, though not always easily understood, leave traces in our being. This phenomenon, as outlined by somatic psychology, tells us that the body stores emotional memory. The body holds onto feelings, even when the mind may try to repress or ignore them. When someone is thinking of you, especially if there is unresolved affection, longing, or an unspoken connection between you, your body may sense it before you can rationalize it. The connection you have with that person might not be purely intellectual or verbal, but rather deeply emotional and subconscious. The energy you share, whether positive or negative, can cause these spontaneous sensations as your body picks up on the emotional waves that person is sending out. This is where the teachings of the Stoic principles hold relevance. The Stoics would remind us not to be ruled by emotions, but to understand and control them. Yet, they also taught us to be keenly aware of the signals around us, recognizing that the world communicates with us in ways we may not immediately comprehend. So, when you feel that flutter in your chest or that unexpected warmth, don't dismiss it as coincidence or weakness. Embrace the reality that your body is attuned to something greater, something beyond your immediate understanding. The ancient Stoics would say, the more you know yourself, the more you will be able to endure. Recognize these signs for what they are: messages of connection, messages that speak to the depths of your being. They are part of the silent wisdom the body holds, one that your mind may need time to understand but can never fully ignore. Don't shy away from these sensations. Instead, explore what they might mean. Is there someone in your life who's holding on to unresolved feelings for you? Perhaps it's time to pay attention to what your body is telling you and consider what actions might be needed to resolve or acknowledge those connections. Let your iron mind guide you, but never forget that the body, too, is a part of your wisdom. Feel free to share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Do these sensations resonate with you, and have you experienced them in your own life? Number 6. Ever find yourself smiling for no apparent reason? It happens unexpectedly. You're sitting quietly, your mind wandering, and suddenly a warmth fills you, a sense of calm, and before you know it, a smile appears on your face. You might not even know why, but it feels good. This, my friend, is the power of emotional mirroring, a fascinating concept recognized by psychologists. Emotional mirroring happens when your brain and body unconsciously reflect the emotions of others, even from miles away. It's as if someone is sending you positive emotional energy, and you feel it without being aware of it. This might be the subtle way in which the thoughts and affection of someone who cares about you travel to your subconscious, awakening your sense of being loved. In the stillness of your day, your soul receives a message. Someone is thinking of you right now. Stoic rules would tell you to embrace such moments with gratitude, acknowledging that while we cannot control the emotions of others, we can certainly appreciate and learn from the quiet yet powerful connection between us. In modern life, it's easy to dismiss these small signs, but a Stoic approach would remind you to pause, reflect, and recognize the wisdom in these subtle cues. Acknowledge that you are not alone in this world, that love and affection often reach you in ways you can't always comprehend, but it's real. Don't dismiss these feelings, but instead allow them to reinforce your understanding that connection is all around you, whether you see it or not. Let these moments serve as reminders to cherish your relationships and the silent, invisible threads that tie us all together, reinforcing the importance of emotional bonds that transcend space and time. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Number 7. In the intricate dance of human connection, there are moments when you begin to notice things, signals that can't be ignored, whispers from the universe itself. 6 repeated synchronicities involving them are no mere coincidence. Picture this. You think of them, and suddenly, their name appears on a billboard. A song, perhaps one you haven't heard in years, fills the air, and it feels as if it's been playing for you, for both of you. Psychology would label this the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, when something catches your attention, and suddenly it seems to appear everywhere. But that explanation is surface level. In the realm of emotional psychology, it goes deeper, much deeper. You are not merely experiencing a quirk of perception. You are tapping into something greater, a shared emotional energy that resonates across time and space. When you notice such patterns, especially in times of heightened emotion, it's a sign that there is a deeper connection at play. Perhaps both of you are unknowingly sending signals through an unconscious realm, communicating on a spiritual frequency that aligns when it's meant to. This is where ancient wisdom, the paths of wisdom, comes into play, particularly the teachings of Stoicism. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoics, would have recognized this as an instance where life mirrors our thoughts, our emotions, our intentions, and our perceptions. This is not some abstract notion. It's a fundamental truth about human connection and the laws of the universe. The idea that 2 minds or 2 souls can be attuned to the same frequency is not just poetic. It's rooted in the very essence of reality itself. What we focus on expands, and this isn't limited to material or superficial things. It's our emotional state, our deepest desires, and our subconscious intentions. They are reflected back at us. In today's world, where distractions are constant and the noise of life is ever present, these moments of synchronicity are often overlooked or dismissed as mere coincidence. But true masters of Stoicism, those who walk the paths of wisdom, understand that these moments are not random. They are signals from the universe, urging us to pay attention to the energy we are transmitting and receiving. By recognizing these patterns, you can harness the power of awareness, shaping your reality with intent and purpose. The ancient Stoics, like Epictetus, knew that our minds are powerful instruments, capable of creating the world we inhabit. What you think, what you feel, and what you believe are all contributing to the reality around you. So, when you experience these synchronicities, do not dismiss them. Do not ignore them. They are not accidents, they are messages. Recognize the signs, understand the language of the universe, and take action. The Stoic mindset, the very essence of Stoicismwin, teaches us to control what we can, our thoughts, our actions, and our responses to the world. When you understand this, when you see the hidden signs, you take back control. You don't wait for life to happen to you, you make life happen. Your thoughts shape the reality you live in. So the next time you think of someone, and the world seems to send their name your way, take notice. It's not a random occurrence. It's a message, a reminder, and an opportunity to act. The universe is speaking to you, and you must listen. The paths of wisdom, like those carved by the Stoics, demand that you do. Don't wait for the next sign. Create your own. Recognize the power within you, and watch how the world begins to align with your intentions. Embrace the synchronicity. It's not a coincidence. It's your reality unfolding. Number 8. Your pets or kids react to invisible energy. In a world that's constantly moving, we often overlook the hidden forces that shape our lives. Stoic wisdom teaches us to remain grounded, to perceive what's truly important, and to understand the deeper currents beneath the surface. The idea that someone could be thinking about you is not just a fleeting notion. It's a powerful example of how invisible forces and emotional energy can manifest in ways that we may not fully understand. Think about this. You may find that your pets or even your children start reacting to invisible energy, something you cannot see, but they feel. Stoic rules remind us to pay attention to these subtle cues in our environment, because they are often more meaningful than we realize. Animals and children are far more emotionally intuitive than most adults. While we focus on logic and rational explanations, they sense things on a different level. You might notice your dog, who's normally calm and collected, suddenly becoming clingy, restless, or anxious for no apparent reason. Or your child might stare behind you, eyes wide, as if they're seeing something that isn't visible to you. Don't dismiss this as mere fantasy or coincidence. These reactions are powerful indicators that something, unseen yet felt, is shifting in your space. Your pets and children are tapping into the energy fields that surround you. These energy fields, when charged by someone thinking about you, can interact with your environment, subtly altering the atmosphere. This isn't just mysticism. Psychology supports this with research on sensory perception. Our ability to sense nonverbal emotional energy, even when it's beyond the logical realm, is part of the human experience. It's a practical Stoicism lesson in understanding that there's more to reality than what we can immediately perceive. Modern life tends to ignore these deeper layers of interaction because we're taught to rely on what we can touch, see, and measure. But the Stoics would challenge you to see beyond the physical world. If your dog reacts to someone's energy from afar, or if your child senses someone's presence without reason, it's not a coincidence. It's the invisible energy field that has shifted, a quiet manifestation of emotional focus. Think of it as a moment when your energy and someone else's energy align, even without physical proximity. This is where practical Stoicism becomes not just a philosophy, but a lens through which we can interpret the nuances of everyday life. The ability to be aware of this dynamic is essential. You must learn to trust the subtle signs around you. Don't ignore them. If your pet is acting differently, or your child is staring intently at something unseen, Take a moment to pause and reflect. There is more happening than what meets the eye. In relationships and in life, the energy people direct toward us has a profound effect. Whether it's a person thinking about you or someone emotionally invested in you, their energy resonates with yours. Stoic rules would have us reflect on the importance of understanding these forces without allowing them to control us. Instead of feeling powerless, recognize that you can control your own energy, choosing whether to engage or protect yourself from unwanted influences. Modern life may dismiss these unseen forces, but the Stoics understood that true wisdom comes from recognizing the power of energy, emotion, and perception in ways that transcend the physical realm. So, pay attention to the energy around you, both seen and unseen, and let it guide you toward deeper understanding and greater emotional clarity. This is practical Stoicism at its finest, reminding us to remain grounded, yet open to the subtle signs that life often sends our way. If you feel the invisible energy shifting around you, don't ignore it, acknowledge it, and embrace its power. If you agree, drop a comment below right now. I trust the unseen forces shaping my life. Like this video, subscribe for more unshakable wisdom, and remind yourself daily, true strength lies in the ability to perceive beyond the surface. Number 9. You get the urge to reach out of nowhere. They've known that true wisdom doesn't simply lie in books or philosophies, but in understanding the subtle, unseen currents of the world around them. The Old Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that we must pay attention to the signs, the little things that often go unnoticed, for these are the moments that shape our destiny. One of the most powerful signs that someone is thinking about you is the sudden, inexplicable urge to reach out. One moment, you're simply going about your day, and then, out of nowhere, a wave of desire to call or text them hits you. It's not something you planned, yet there it is, a powerful pull urging you to connect. This is emotional reciprocity at its core. The Stoics would tell you that it's no coincidence. This is a direct result of the invisible bond you share with another. When someone is genuinely thinking of you, their energy and thoughts ripple outward, causing a mirrored response in you, one that might even manifest as a physical urge to communicate. The same principle can be found in the great teachings of ancient philosophers. What happens in one mind often triggers a resonance in another, uniting thoughts and emotions across time and space. It is, in essence, the deep connection that exists between two people, one that transcends the physical and enters the realm of the unseen. As Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. In modern terms, this is a call to embrace the interconnectedness of the world, to understand that the desires and thoughts of others are not isolated. They are part of the grand tapestry of life. When that pull strikes you, it is not just random, it's the result of a deeper connection, one that exists in the realms of both mind and heart. So don't ignore that urge. Recognize it as a sign, a call to take action, to respond, to engage. It is a chance for you to seize the moment, to strengthen the bonds you share, and to navigate the paths of wisdom laid out before you. Don't dismiss it as coincidence. In the grand game of life, the Stoics knew the power of moments like these. When you feel that pull, follow it. You're not just connecting with another person, you're aligning yourself with the deeper rhythms of existence, the rhythms that lead to true understanding and growth. Remember, when you follow the paths of wisdom and heed these subtle signs, you are stepping closer to mastering your own destiny. Don't wait for life to pass you by. Take control, act decisively, and let the connection you feel become the guide that propels you forward. Like Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Respond to the pull, trust the process, and watch your life transform." Number 10. You hear their voice in your head. In the labyrinth of the mind, where we often get lost in our thoughts, one of the most startling signs that someone is thinking about you occurs when you suddenly hear their voice in your head. It may happen when you're alone, immersed in the chaos of your day, or even in the midst of deep thought. It's not a hallucination, far from it. It's their voice, their tone, their words, their laugh, echoing inside your mind. You may wonder, what does this mean? In the language of psychology, this is referred to as auditory imagery, where memories, particularly emotionally charged ones, evoke vivid internal sounds. But when these sounds appear unprovoked, seemingly from nowhere, and strike a chord deep within you, it's not just a random occurrence. It's a powerful signal that their thoughts are perhaps reaching into your subconscious. You don't need to be a psychologist to understand that the mind, much like the principles of Old Stoic philosophy, is more than just a passive observer of thoughts and experiences. It's a battlefield for your emotions and intellect. As the Stoic wisdom goes, what we do is more important than what we think. Your mind is a place where thoughts don't just fade away, they have an impact. When you hear their voice, it might be an invitation to reflect on your relationship with them, or to ponder the deeper connection that binds you. Trust in your intuition, and do not ignore the power of these subtle signs. The Old Stoic philosophy teaches us to harness the power of the mind, to have an iron mind that does not succumb to the whims of emotion, yet recognizes the strength in acknowledging these moments. These moments where you hear someone's voice as if they are right there beside you may also indicate a connection that transcends the physical. The Stoic principle of recognizing the ebb and flow of emotions without being consumed by them offers a valuable perspective here. It's not about being overwhelmed or frightened by the experience. It's about maintaining your composure, understanding that your inner world is often influenced by external forces, and that the mind's quiet whispers can sometimes speak louder than actions. As the great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." By acknowledging these instances where their voice enters your mind, you are choosing to reduce distractions, listen carefully to your emotions, and sharpen your mental awareness. In this way, your iron mind is strengthened. In these moments, you might also recognize that hearing their voice inside your head isn't just a fleeting or random event. It's a sign that you are deeply connected to them, that their energy, thoughts, and emotions are crossing paths with yours, even from afar. The Old Stoics teach that the nature of our connections with others is intricate, sometimes even beyond our control. A man is not disturbed by things, but by the view he takes of them, as Epictetus reminds us. The voice you hear may not just be a casual mental echo, it's the mind's way of signaling that there is something more at play. Perhaps it's a deeper intuition, or maybe it's simply the universe reminding you that thoughts and connections extend beyond what you can see and hear in the material world. This is where Stoic principles come into play. You must balance the raw emotion with rationality, using your iron mind to discern the meaning, not allowing the experience to overwhelm you, but instead finding the wisdom that lies within. You might find yourself wondering, why now? Why their voice at this very moment? It's important to realize that such experiences are not coincidental. The Old Stoics would advise you to view this moment not as a mere oddity, but as an opportunity for growth and insight. When you hear their voice in your head, it's not just about them thinking about you, it's about what this moment reveals about your relationship, your emotions, and your mental state. The Stoic discipline of self-awareness teaches us to evaluate every encounter, even the smallest, most subtle ones, for what they can teach us about ourselves. This moment, this auditory imagery, is a reflection of the broader principle that every thought, every word, and every action is connected. You must be vigilant, using your iron mind to determine whether these thoughts are simply remnants of the past or signals that demand your attention. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the colour of its thoughts." So, take this experience as an invitation to examine your thoughts and feelings. Don't be passive. Instead, be an active participant in your emotional and intellectual landscape. Recognize that the voice you hear may not be a call for action, but rather a reminder to stay connected to your inner self. Reflect on whether this moment signifies that someone else is thinking about you, or whether it's your own mind calling you to something deeper. These moments can serve as powerful reflections, bringing you closer to understanding not only the dynamics of your relationships, but also the strength of your own mind. In the world of Old Stoic wisdom, emotional intelligence, balanced with logic, is what leads to a flourishing life. As the Stoics say, man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them. Don't overlook the significance of such occurrences. They are the language of the mind, and they hold valuable insights about the world within and around you. If you found this insight valuable, like, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit from it. Don't forget to subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Comment to remember. Our thoughts shape our reality, and the mind's whispers are often the loudest truths. Number 11. In life, there are subtle, often inexplicable signs that suggest someone is thinking about you, a connection that goes beyond the physical. One such sign is the occurrence of technology glitches around their presence. This may sound mystical, but the reality is that emotional energy can sometimes interfere with the technology we rely on every day. Have you ever tried calling them only to have your phone act strangely, or a message that won't send stuck in the draft folder? Psychological research on intention and attention suggests that emotional intensity can create enough neural and electromagnetic activity to cause noticeable effects, particularly when both people are emotionally activated. These glitches are not just random occurrences. They are signs that their energy, their focus, is attuned to you. It's as if their thoughts are sending out an invisible signal that your body and mind can pick up, but the technology around you can't process it properly. Instead of seeing these malfunctions as nuisances, consider them manifestations of a deeper, invisible connection. These moments are reminders that you are being felt, even if you are physically apart. Though it may sound strange, this is exactly the kind of thing the Stoic rules encourage us to notice, the unspoken exchange of energy that happens beyond our control. When you apply practical Stoicism to these experiences, you begin to accept things as they are and embrace the mysteries of life with calm rather than frustration. When technology fails during moments like these, don't let it disturb your peace. Remember, you're at the mercy of something bigger than yourself, the invisible currents of emotional energy that flow through the fabric of reality. Instead of allowing frustration to take over, focus on grounding yourself in the present moment, knowing that your emotional intelligence and Stoic mindset can transform what seems like a disruption into an opportunity for deeper understanding. Your emotions are not random. They hold power. Stoic philosophy teaches us not to fight against the uncontrollable, but rather to harness it to strengthen our inner resolve. These glitches are not to be seen as disturbances, but as reminders that the universe, like our emotions, isn't always predictable. Rather than becoming frustrated, take them as an opportunity to reflect on the connections you have with others and allow your feelings to fuel your Stoic growth. Understanding this concept lies in recognizing that these subtle signs are not just coincidences. They are reflections of the deeper emotional currents between you and the other person. By embracing the principles of practical Stoicism, you train yourself to interpret these signals without attachment or unnecessary excitement, allowing your mind to remain centered even when the world around you feels unpredictable. Remember, true strength comes from accepting the chaos of the world with serenity, not by trying to control or resist it. When technology glitches in these moments, let it be a signal to you. Stay calm, stay connected, and trust in the quiet wisdom of the universe. If you found this video valuable, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new lesson. If you have any thoughts or want to dive deeper into today's topic, feel free to leave a comment below and share your feedback. I always enjoy hearing from you. Remember, the wisdom of the Stoics is timeless, and by applying it, we can navigate life with strength and clarity. Until next time, stay strong, stay focused, and remember, you are in control of your own peace. Missing you secretly and crying in your memory. Psychology, fact about love. They miss you. Old Stoic wisdom. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. Zreni and Normand Cousins. Have you ever felt deep within that someone far away might be thinking of you, perhaps even shedding a tear in your memory? It's not mere imagination. Psychology reveals that emotional energy is incredibly potent. When someone forms a deep attachment to you, their emotions can reach across time and distance, sending signals that, while subtle, are undeniably real. Today, let's uncover 10 powerful psychological signs that someone might be silently weeping while recalling you. Pay attention to these signs. You may discover that someone is still holding onto your memory, even in sorrow. 1. Sudden emotional shift. Sometimes you're doing just fine, and suddenly, without reason, you feel a wave of sadness or anxiety. It might seem unexplainable, yet this phenomenon is not as random as it seems. Psychologists refer to this as emotional contagion, the subtle transfer of emotions from one person to another, often without direct interaction. This is especially potent when there's a deep emotional bond between you and someone else. If they're silently crying, perhaps missing you or reflecting on shared moments, their emotional state may reach you in ways you cannot even comprehend, often causing you to feel the same sadness from a distance. This is a profound example of how love, care, and connection go beyond the physical realm, invoking emotions in the very core of your being. It's something many of us have experienced, even if we didn't understand why it happened. Yet, the real question here is, how do we process this emotional influx? The key lies in understanding that this shared emotional experience, no matter how jarring it may feel, is a natural occurrence when love runs deep. In this situation, you must not shy away from the emotional intensity. Instead, face it head-on with the resilience of an Old Stoic. The Stoic principles teach us to master our emotions, to not let them overwhelm or dictate our actions. Do not be afraid of the sadness, but rather use it as an opportunity to reflect on the depth of the bond you shared with that person. This is where your iron mind comes into play, guiding you through emotional turmoil with strength and clarity. Remember, the pain you feel is not a weakness, but a testament to the love that once existed. A love so profound that it transcends time and space, reaching you even when you're miles apart. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So, the way you interpret this emotional shift will shape your path forward. Choose to see it as a reminder of the love you've experienced, not as a reason to mourn its absence. This emotional reaction also brings to light an essential truth. People miss you, perhaps more than you realize. Whether they express it or not, the connection you once shared is imprinted in their hearts and minds. They may be carrying the weight of their emotions, but the fact that you feel them means you still matter deeply to them. And you, in turn, might miss them too, feeling their absence in moments when you're alone with your thoughts. It's human nature to feel both the joy and sorrow of loving someone, even when they're not physically present. In these moments, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. You must learn to accept these feelings without letting them dominate your life. The Old Stoic mindset teaches us not to fight against what we feel, but to process it without attachment. Don't let the sadness consume you. Instead, allow it to guide you toward growth. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your reaction to this emotional surge will ultimately determine your inner peace. In real life, this experience of feeling someone else's sorrow, or even the longing for someone you care about, is something that can be both painful and transformative. You may not be able to control the emotional shifts, but you can control how you manage them. Don't allow yourself to spiral into unnecessary despair. Focus instead on building your emotional resilience, strengthening your mind like iron in the spirit of the Old Stoic teachings. Take a step back and observe your emotions without judgment. This is where your true power lies, in being able to stand firm, even when the world feels like it's pulling you in different emotional directions. And remember, the love you experience, even in its absence, is never wasted. It is a part of your journey, shaping the person you are becoming. So embrace the moments of sadness, but don't let them define you. Be steadfast, just like the Stoic principles teach us, to remain unshaken by the storms of life. Through such wisdom, you will find strength and clarity amidst any emotional storm. 2. Unexpected dreams about them. When you find yourself dreaming about someone, especially in a vivid, emotional, or tearful way, there's more happening than just a random occurrence of the mind at rest. It's an undeniable truth that the subconscious can be incredibly sensitive to the emotions of those around us. And sometimes, when someone has unresolved feelings or emotions tied to you, their soul reaches out to yours. You may not realize it in the waking world, but the energy and emotional currents that flow between people can leave an indelible mark on your psyche. If your dreams are filled with emotion, especially sorrow or longing, it's as if their heart is calling to you from somewhere deep within their soul, even when they may not have the courage or means to express it in person. Stoic rules teach us that we cannot control others' feelings or actions, but we can control how we respond. The reality is that your mind, in its own quiet way, picks up on these emotions and might express them through dreams, connecting you to someone else's heartache or desire without your conscious knowledge. You may think it's all just a coincidence, but if you have been thinking about someone and suddenly they appear in your dreams, it's worth reflecting on the deeper, often hidden, emotional currents that could be at play. Practical Stoicism reminds us that emotional responses, even from those who are far away or silent, can still deeply impact us. You must understand this connection, for it is not just about a fleeting thought, but a deeper, energetic exchange that is trying to communicate something important, something raw and unresolved. The dream might be the manifestation of an unsaid goodbye, or it could be a symbol of something unfinished, something that hasn't yet been resolved. What do you feel in these dreams? The heaviness, the sadness, may not be yours entirely, but could be the emotional residue left behind by someone else. Embrace the feeling, but do not be consumed by it. Let the Stoic rules guide you, knowing that while we can't stop these emotional exchanges, we can control how they shape us. In life, people come and go, and the emotions they leave behind can be difficult to carry. But just as the Stoic philosopher teaches, accept the passing of these emotions with grace and without allowing them to determine your present state of mind. When you find yourself feeling emotionally overwhelmed by dreams, remember, this is not a weakness, but a reminder that we are all interconnected in ways we might not fully understand. Don't let this become a point of obsession. Instead, take it as a sign that the world has a mysterious way of revealing the deepest parts of the human experience. Let go of what's beyond your control and focus on what you can change within yourself. If you've ever felt the emotional pull of someone in your dreams, drop a comment right now. I acknowledge the silent connections that shape me. Like this video? Subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and remember, we cannot control the currents of others' emotions, but we can always steer our own ship. 3. Random tearfulness. Ever found yourself tearing up without any obvious reason? A sudden surge of emotion, even when there's no obvious cause, a tear that falls without warning. Let me tell you, this isn't random. It's a reflection of something deeper, something that often lurks beneath the surface. The secret psychology behind these tears reveals a profound truth about human connection. The tears you shed in those moments might not even belong to you, but to someone else you care about deeply. When someone misses you, when they long for your presence, their emotions often reach you, even when you're not aware of it. The bond you share, that invisible thread, is so strong that it can trigger a sympathetic response in your body. The power of emotional ties is undeniable. It's an energy that flows silently between souls, often manifesting in the form of unexplained sadness. This is not a random phenomenon. It's a psychological fact rooted in the way humans are wired to empathize with each other. We are all connected in ways we can't fully comprehend. As ancient Stoic wisdom suggests, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, Marcus Aurelius. The deeper your connections, the more vulnerable you are to the pull of their pain and their longing. It's a universal truth. We are most alive when we are truly connected with those who matter, And the same can be said for loss. When someone's heart aches for you, it leaves an imprint on your psyche. You may not be able to see it, but the weight of their sorrow can seep into your own emotional state, triggering that tear you couldn't explain. This phenomenon calls for you to acknowledge that you are not an island. You cannot live without the influence of others, nor can you ignore the fact that their emotions shape your reality. What's more powerful than the pull of human emotion? This is where the teachings of Epictetus come into play, reminding us that control lies not in the external world, but in our internal responses. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This is the path of wisdom, to remain strong and steadfast, even when emotional turbulence surrounds you. It's about developing the strength to endure the emotional chaos, not just your own, but that of those around you. You must, therefore, learn to manage your own emotions, even when they come unexpectedly. The paths of wisdom urge you to detach from the idea that you must always react to emotional upheaval. Your power lies in responding deliberately and with control. Stoicism is not about repressing emotions, Epictetus taught. It is about learning to rise above them, to be in command of them. Understand this. You are a beacon of strength. The world may throw emotional waves at you, but the true power lies in not being overwhelmed by them. Crying for someone, missing them deeply, this is human. But let this guide you. Let it remind you that you must never lose control over your emotions. Just as Epictetus instructed, remember, don't waste time on what is not in your control. It is a simple yet profound truth. Don't allow the emotional responses of others to define your own emotional landscape. You have the power to master your emotions, to win over your own heart, mind, and spirit. And it is in that mastery that you will find your strength. So when those tears come, recognize them. They are not random. They are a sign of a deeper connection, one that you must honor but not be consumed by. Take a step back, find your center, and remember that you are in charge. The paths of wisdom, the teachings of Stoicism, are the tools you need to rise above it. You will feel, you will empathize, but you will not be defeated. The Stoic win lies in the control you exert over your emotions, not in the emotional turmoil itself. Let this be your guiding principle. 4. You keep hearing their name. When it feels like you can't escape their name, song, or memory, the mind tends to play tricks on you. You hear their name everywhere, even when you least expect it. Psychology calls this the frequency illusion, or the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, a phenomenon where, after becoming emotionally sensitive to something, it seems to appear everywhere. But sometimes, this isn't just coincidence. Sometimes, it's a sign that their emotional energy is still tied to you. The universe, in its mysterious ways, may be reflecting their feelings back to you. Their longing, their crying, their regret might be subtly radiating towards you. You may think you're just hearing things, but the truth is, the emotional energy they've invested in you doesn't just disappear. It lingers in the air, and perhaps it finds its way back to you. Don't dismiss these moments as mere coincidence. The ancient Stoics, with their iron minds and clear understanding of the human heart, taught us to acknowledge the signals around us, even the seemingly insignificant ones. Their wisdom reminds us that nothing happens without reason, and our emotional connections, whether past or present, carry weight. If you're hearing their name, it's not always your mind playing tricks. It might be their energy reaching out to you, urging you to remember, to feel, to understand. You must recognize this and let it guide your understanding. As Marcus Aurelius, a master of Stoic principles, once said, "The universe is change, life is opinion. Everything, from the smallest event to the most significant one, holds meaning if we're open to understanding it." Now, why does this happen? Why does it feel like you can't escape the constant reminders of someone? The Stoics believed in the importance of self-control and perception. When you start to miss someone, when their absence weighs on you, your mind becomes sensitive to everything that connects you to them. This isn't weakness. This is the human condition, the natural pull of affection, desire, or even regret. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that emotions like these, when left unchecked, can control us. You must become aware of the impact of these feelings, recognizing that even the smallest triggers, hearing their name, a song that brings back memories, are part of a larger emotional process. You must be strong enough to see them for what they are, echoes of their emotional state reaching you. But the key to surviving this experience and emerging stronger lies in embracing the Stoic principles. Don't let these emotional waves overwhelm you. Don't give them the power to dictate your thoughts or actions. Instead, focus on the control you still have, control over your own response. As Epictetus said, "We are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by our thoughts about what happens." This is your moment to practice the iron mind of a Stoic, stepping back, observing your emotions without judgment, and choosing to respond in a manner that keeps you grounded and rational. If their emotional energy is reaching out to you, and you are constantly reminded of them, this could be a sign that you need to let go of the past and focus on your own growth. The Stoics believed in accepting the things we cannot change, and this includes the fact that some people are no longer part of our lives. While it's tempting to look back, to dwell on memories, you must keep your focus forward. Life is too short to be consumed by what has been lost. Instead, cultivate your own emotional resilience. Use this emotional energy to strengthen your resolve. Remember, you possess the power to change how you perceive and react to these experiences. Your journey, like all journeys, is one of self-discovery and growth. As you hear their name or experience a flood of memories, recognize that these are not signs of weakness or helplessness. They are opportunities to test your inner strength. Do not let nostalgia or regret cloud your judgment. Allow the Stoic principles to guide you through the pain. Remain grounded, recognize what's within your control, and move forward with the strength of an iron mind. You must never allow past emotions to dictate your future. If you resonate with the idea that emotional energy lingers and shapes your experience, take control of your mind and embrace the Stoic path. Remember, the universe speaks through small signs. Your response is your power. If this speaks to you, like, comment below, and share with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember. Embrace the present, release the past. 5. You feel a sudden physical pull. You've likely experienced that sudden, unexplained pull, a sensation that grips your chest, tightens your heart, or urges you to reach out to someone, even when they haven't directly contacted you. It's a feeling that seems to come out of nowhere, yet it feels like your very being is connected to theirs. Psychologists have a theory that this is a powerful manifestation of deep emotional ties. When you miss someone intensely, when your bond with them is genuine and profound, your emotions can resonate across distances in a way that transcends logic. That tug you feel could be your soul's response to theirs, an invisible thread pulling you toward them. It's as though their pain, their need for you, creates a call to action in your body and mind, a silent cry that you can't ignore. It's important to recognize the sensation as not just a fleeting moment of vulnerability, but a powerful reminder of the Stoic rule of inner strength. In times like this, don't fall into the trap of overwhelming yourself with emotions. Instead, take a step back. Acknowledge the pull, but don't let it control you. The concept of missing someone might seem straightforward, but the deeper psychological reality is that love, loss, and longing are complex emotions that can deeply affect both your mind and body. The Stoic philosophy, particularly the practical Stoicism principles, teaches us to maintain control over our emotions rather than letting them consume us. You must remember, emotions are temporary, fleeting, and driven by external forces that we often cannot control. Yet the way we react to them, how we channel that energy, is what defines us. You should not let the weight of missing someone crush you. Instead, use the strength that comes from within to accept the emotion, process it, and move forward. Life is about balance, and missing someone doesn't have to be a force that weakens you. It can be the spark that motivates you to grow, and evolve, to learn how to handle pain with the wisdom of the Stoics. And don't forget this: sometimes these physical pulls you experience are reminders that you need to take action. They could be signals from your subconscious mind, nudging you to reconnect, or perhaps even to reconcile with unresolved feelings. The Stoic approach is to take measured steps rather than react impulsively. The desire to call or reach out, though powerful, should be controlled. Think deeply before acting on such emotions. Sometimes the most effective action is inaction, allowing time and space to provide the clarity needed. You don't need to rush to fix everything. Life isn't about immediate gratification. It's about learning to control your impulses, to manage the desire for validation or resolution. If you feel that tightness, recognize it as a message, but do not be swayed into impulsive decisions. Instead, apply the Stoic rules of detachment and self-discipline. Learn to listen to the pull without surrendering to it. Embrace it as part of your growth, but understand that it is just a moment in time, not the whole of your experience. In modern life, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the constant flow of emotions, especially in relationships that are not always straightforward. With the constant access to communication, it can feel like we should always respond immediately to these emotional cues. But the truth is, giving in to the urge to act on every pull of emotion weakens us. You must train yourself to recognize these moments as opportunities for growth, a chance to practice the principles of practical Stoicism. These emotional signals should not be your downfall, they should be your guide. The Stoics taught us that we are not slaves to our feelings, we are masters of our actions. When you feel that overwhelming tug, remember the Stoic wisdom. You must choose how to respond. Don't let the storm inside you control the course of your life. Instead, use the storm to sharpen your focus and resilience. Know that missing someone is part of being human, but don't let it define you. Instead, let it teach you the value of strength, control, and the wisdom to know when to act and when to wait. 6. You feel a sudden physical pull. Again. 1 minute, everything seems fine, and then you feel a strange sensation, like a tug towards someone. It's almost as if you can feel them, even if they're far away. This physical sensation, which many psychologists believe is tied to emotional bonds, isn't just a fleeting moment. It's your body's way of acknowledging the depth of that connection, the bond you share with another soul that transcends mere words or touch. Perhaps it's the universe reminding you of an unspoken tie, a silent call that lingers in the air, like the faintest whisper reaching you from miles away. In these moments, when you feel that pull, that longing, it's as if their soul is crying for you, calling out through the emotional connection you both share. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This powerful insight reveals a profound truth. You are not helpless in the face of this yearning. You have the power to shape your response, to choose how you carry this weight, this desire. When you feel that tug, that unexpected ache, don't cower from it. Acknowledge it, but then let go. The Stoics believed that only by mastering your emotions, by following the paths of wisdom, could you find peace within yourself. That's where strength lies, not in the desire to cool them, but in the wisdom to know that longing, in and of itself, isn't weakness. The longing is real, but your ability to rise above it, to remain steadfast, is the true victory. You see, love, in its most profound form, can cause us to feel the effects physically. When you miss someone, when you long for their presence, your body reacts as though they are a part of you. Yet, this sensation is not an invitation to fall into despair or to act out of desperation. No, this is a test, a reminder that your path to mastery and to emotional strength lies in your ability to control these emotions. The path of wisdom isn't about avoiding feelings or suppressing them. It's about understanding them, acknowledging them, and choosing how to react. Your response to this tug can either empower or imprison you. So, take a deep breath. Don't fall into the trap of rushing into action. Don't be swayed by the fear of missing out, the fear that you'll never experience such a connection again. This is your moment to walk in the paths of wisdom, to rise above the pool of emotion and stand firm in your understanding of yourself. Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Apply this same principle to your emotions. What if you didn't need that person to complete you? What if the longing itself could teach you something about your own strength, your own resilience? It's not easy, but then again, true wisdom never comes easily. It's earned. And every time you resist the urge to reach out when that pull strikes, you're taking a step forward on the paths of wisdom, moving ever closer to emotional freedom. Remember, the Stoic principles of Epictetus teach us to rise above what we can't control. You cannot control the feelings of longing that arise when someone has a place in your heart, but you can control your actions. That's the power you have. That's the true strength. Don't allow these emotions to control you. Instead, embrace them, acknowledge their presence, and then let them go. Don't let FOMO, fear of missing out, dictate your next move. Stand firm in your power, in your control, and remember that the only true victory is the one where you master yourself. So when you feel that sudden pull, that deep ache, don't panic. Don't reach for the phone. Don't cave to the weakness. Instead, take a step back and recognize the power of your emotions. This is the moment to practice the teachings of Epictetus and Stoicismwin, to embrace the knowledge that you are in control, that this longing does not define you, and that your emotional strength is in your ability to rise above it. Your power lies in walking the path of wisdom and letting go when it's time. You must rise, because this is your life, and you are the master of it. This is your victory. Now go forth stronger and wiser than before. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comment section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. 7. You remember moments you had forgotten? You know those moments that seem to have slipped away from your memory, the ones that feel like they were long forgotten, only to resurface unexpectedly? That's not a mere coincidence, my friend. It's the mind at work. Psychologically, our brain doesn't just store memories randomly. It locks away deep emotional moments in layers, often keeping them hidden until the right trigger unlocks them. When someone's emotions, their tears or longing, reach you, those hidden memories can come rushing back, and you'll find yourself remembering something that was once lost. A touch, a smile, a goodbye. These fragments of the past come back as if they never left. What seems like a simple memory resurfacing is, in fact, the universe sending you a signal. You might call it fate, or perhaps it's the universe trying to get your attention in the only way it knows how, by nudging your consciousness, reminding you of what once was. This is where Old Stoic wisdom, with its emphasis on control and understanding of emotions, can come in handy. The Stoics taught us to train the mind, to recognize the emotions that stir within us, and to harness them rather than be overwhelmed by them. They believe that true strength lies not in resisting feelings, but in understanding and mastering them. Think of the iron mind that the Stoic principles advocate, one that doesn't fall prey to fleeting emotional storms, but remains steady and calm, even as old memories emerge. The fact is, when you feel those memories rush in, your emotions are being tugged at, and there's power in that. You must acknowledge the feeling, yet you don't have to surrender to it. As the Stoic philosophers would remind you, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Don't let yourself drown in nostalgia or sorrow. Instead, recognize it as an opportunity to reflect and grow. Understand that these emotional waves are a natural part of life, part of the human experience. Allow yourself to feel, but don't lose your sense of direction. Those emotions may be powerful, but they are not you. They are fleeting, and they will pass, as long as you remember to apply the old Stoic principles. What we fear doing most is usually what we most need to do, said Ralph Waldo Emerson. Facing these emotions head-on, rather than suppressing them, will help you grow stronger. When you experience this emotional resurgence, let it be a reminder to tap into your inner iron mind. Let those memories fuel you to become more resilient, more focused, and more in control. Life will throw moments of emotional turmoil your way, but you are equipped to deal with them. So don't let the past dominate your present. Recognize the lesson, embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, and use it to navigate the waves of emotion. Now, it's your turn. Have you ever experienced such a memory that seemed to come out of nowhere, pulling at your heartstrings? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you've handled such moments and what wisdom you've gained from them. 8. Your mood drops without cause. You're having a great day and then suddenly you feel low. The Stoic rules teach us that we must take control of our emotions, but sometimes life has a way of testing that resolve. What you may not realize is that this emotional shift could be linked to someone else. Someone who is no longer in your life, but whose emotional state still resonates with yours. Psychology refers to this phenomenon as emotional synchronization. It's the silent, almost mystical connection between two people who were once deeply entwined, where their emotions continue to affect one another even from a distance. If someone you once shared deep affection with is silently mourning your absence or missing you, their grief might find its way into your heart. You may find yourself feeling the weight of their sorrow without even knowing why. The practical Stoicism we practice doesn't deny this occurrence, but challenges us to handle it with control. The key here is recognizing that, while this emotional synchronization can be unsettling, it is something you can manage. The Stoics teach us that we can control how we respond to external forces. Your feelings are your responsibility, and in acknowledging that your heart might be mirroring another's pain, you gain the power to rise above it. This emotional ebb and flow isn't just a quirk of the psyche. It's a sign of the deep bonds we form in relationships and the lasting impact they have on us, even when we think we've moved on. Love, in its many forms, leaves a mark that doesn't easily fade, and while time may heal wounds, the echoes of connection remain. It's a hard truth, but one that the Stoics understood well. In their teachings, they stressed the importance of understanding that our emotions often don't belong to us alone. They can be shared, transferred, and synchronized with others. Don't allow these shared feelings to control your life, they would advise. You must take the reins of your mind and heart. It's easy to be swept up in the emotional tides of another person's silent suffering, but it's equally important to remind yourself that their pain is not yours to carry. When you feel that drop in mood, don't lose yourself in it. Instead, take a step back and ask yourself, is this truly my emotion, or am I simply picking up on someone else's? This simple yet powerful question can help you gain perspective and distance from an emotion that might not even belong to you. In practical Stoicism, the focus is always on what you can control. When you recognize that your emotional shift may be the result of someone else's hidden pain, you are given the opportunity to choose your response. It's easy to wallow in sadness or to become overwhelmed by the sense of loss. However, the Stoic approach is to rise above these emotions. Your strength lies not in avoiding or suppressing your feelings, but in acknowledging them and choosing to direct your energy toward a positive, productive outcome. Don't let the sorrow of another sink your spirits. Instead, use this as an opportunity to ground yourself, to reaffirm your values, and to live according to the principles of Stoic philosophy. Let this emotional synchronization become a reminder of your inner strength, not a weight that drags you down. You are in control, and while emotions may flow, you must not let them sweep you away. In modern life, it's not uncommon to experience emotional connections across distances, whether it's a loved one who's far away, a former partner, or someone who once meant a great deal to you. With the constant connectivity of today's world, it's easy for our emotional states to become intertwined with others, sometimes without even knowing it. It's crucial to remember that, even in the face of emotional synchronization, you must never lose sight of your own peace. You must live by the Stoic rules, practicing self-control, acknowledging the emotions that arise without allowing them to dominate your life. The Stoics would remind us that our emotions are not an indication of weakness, they are an opportunity for growth, self-awareness, and mastery over our inner world. By practicing practical Stoicism, you can learn to navigate the emotional currents that inevitably arise and remain steadfast in the face of life's challenges. Don't let this emotional shift, no matter how unexpected, define your day or your life. Recognize that your mind and heart have the power to rise above external forces. Keep your focus on what you can control and embrace the teachings of Stoicism to guide you through life's unpredictable emotional landscapes. The power to choose your response is always yours, and by practicing Stoic wisdom, you can rise above even the most surprising emotional synchronizations and continue to live your life with strength, clarity, and purpose. 9. Animals act strangely around you. When you walk through life, do you ever feel like animals around you suddenly start acting strangely? Perhaps they stare at you in silence or approach you with an unusual affection, seeking your attention more than they normally would. Let me tell you, this is not just coincidence. Animals are highly sensitive to emotional energy. They don't just notice when your mood shifts, they feel it deeply. Their instincts are finely tuned to the emotional frequencies surrounding them, and when someone is crying, missing you, or overwhelmed by an invisible force of sorrow, animals can pick up on it instantly. It's as if the very atmosphere around you changes, vibrating with a different energy that they instinctively sense. Just as the Stoics like Epictetus teach, the world is not as it seems. It is a reflection of what lies within us. The paths of wisdom tell us that the emotional energy we exude can shape not just our world, but the worlds of others, both human and animal. You may think that no one can tell, that your pain or longing is hidden behind a veil of strength, but even the animals know. They are tuned into the same frequencies, attuned to your shifts in energy. So, when they approach you in this way, when they sit quietly near you or shower you with more affection than usual, recognize it as a silent understanding. They see your struggle. They feel your heartache. They are responding to the emotional turbulence around you that others may fail to notice. In modern life, we often overlook the subtleties of emotional energy, dismissing them as mere coincidences or quirks of nature. But I want you to stop and think. How many times have you felt an unspoken connection with someone, or noticed a shift in the room without a word being exchanged? This is the power of energy, and just like the animals, your loved ones or those who care about you can sense when something is wrong, even if they don't have the words to express it. The paths of wisdom, especially those of Stoicism, remind us to cultivate an inner strength that is so firm, so resolute, that no emotional disturbance can shake us. Epictetus taught us that it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And that reaction, it sends waves into the world, affecting everyone and everything around you. So take control of that energy. You must acknowledge your feelings without letting them control you. Do not hide your pain, but let it fuel your resilience. Turn your longing into strength. Transform sorrow into power. You have the ability to master your emotional energy, and in doing so, to shape the world around you. Remember, the Stoics knew something crucial. What happens outside of you is not as important as how you choose to respond. You hold the keys to your own emotional energy. That pain, that longing, that sense of missing someone, don't let it define you. Use it. Let it remind you of what you're capable of. Let it drive you forward. Let it push you toward greatness, toward victory. Stoicism wins because it teaches you to stand firm, no matter what emotional storms come your way. You can walk through life with the same indifference to the noise of others, secure in your own sense of purpose and wisdom. So, what will you do with your emotional energy? Will you let it rule you, or will you rise above it, just like the Stoics who walked the paths of wisdom before you? Don't let your inner struggles go unnoticed. Turn them into your power. And when you see those animals acting strangely around you, remember, they know what you're going through. The energy you radiate is never hidden. It's always felt, and it always matters. Like and comment below if you recognize this truth in your life. Let's discuss how emotional energy shapes the world around us. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others who might need to hear this, and of course, subscribe for more insights like this. Your support means a lot. If you have any thoughts, feedback, or want to dive deeper into today's topic, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave your comments below. Let's start a conversation. Remember, love can be complex, but understanding it through psychology and wisdom gives us the clarity we need. Until next time, take care and stay strong. 8 hidden signs they secretly see you as more than a friend. Old Stoic wisdom. Love is not about possession. Love is about appreciation. Osho. Have you ever found yourself wondering if a simple glance, an unexpected silence, or an offhand gesture meant more than just casual friendship? Could it be that someone has been sending you signals, trying to communicate feelings that go beyond words? Welcome to Stoicismwin, where we dive into the intricacies of the human mind and uncover the hidden truths behind our behaviors. In today's exploration, we'll reveal 6 subtle signs that someone might secretly view you as more than just a friend. These clues, rooted in psychology and human emotion, are often overlooked, yet they can speak volumes. Stick with us until the end, because the 4th sign could totally shift the way you perceive your closest relationships. Let's get started. Point number 1. Their attention has a strange consistency. They notice the little things. Your new haircut, the tone in your texts, the mood behind your silence. This isn't just being attentive, it's emotional investment. As the Old Stoic principle teaches, a person who has mastered themselves will notice the world without letting it distract them. But when someone truly sees you for who you are, they become attuned to your emotional state on a deeper level. According to Dr. Arthur Aaron's research on intimacy, this is an indicator of genuine connection, as their mind, guided by selective attention bias, prioritizes your emotional well-being above all else. They remember what you've said, even the fleeting mentions. Perhaps you mentioned your favorite comfort food in passing, and on a tough day, they show up with it, almost as if by instinct. It's not coincidence, it's intentional. Your emotional state has etched itself into their mind, and they subconsciously prioritize it. This isn't something they do for everyone. It's not a routine gesture or a checklist. It's specific to you. You stand out, and they know when something's off. In those moments when you're silently struggling, trying to hide behind a facade, they see right through it. They sense the change before you even speak. That moment when they ask, "What's wrong?" without you ever saying a word, that's the work of emotional radar, a skill cultivated not only by their attention, but by their desire to be there for you, no matter how small the sign may be. This kind of emotional resonance is what truly sets them apart. So remember, this is not just a sign of friendship, it's a sign of something deeper. Don't underestimate the importance of this kind of attention. The Stoic warrior keeps his mind focused on what truly matters, ignoring distractions. And the same can be said for someone who truly sees you. They've learned how to tune out the noise of everyday life and focus on the things that matter most, your emotions, your words, even the spaces between them. Be grateful, because this is a rare kind of investment. The Old Stoic principle of emotional detachment doesn't mean being cold, it means recognizing what's worth your focus. And this person has decided, without a doubt, that it's you. Trust it, notice it, and don't take it for granted. You must value this connection, for it is the true embodiment of iron mind, steadfast, unwavering, and determined. If you've experienced this kind of attention, share your thoughts. Point number 2. They consistently seek physical proximity. One subtle but telling sign that someone may view you as more than just a friend is how often they seek out your company in person. It's not just about being around, it's about being close to you. Whether it's sitting next to you during group events or finding excuses to be near you in casual settings, their desire for proximity speaks volumes. Psychologist Dr. Arthur Aaron's studies on attraction highlight the importance of physical closeness in building emotional intimacy. This isn't just a desire to be near you physically, but an unconscious effort to form a deeper emotional bond. The Stoics valued inner strength and emotional balance, Yet they also recognize that human beings are social creatures, and physical presence often enhances emotional connection. By seeking out this closeness, they're expressing a silent yet powerful longing for deeper connection. Think about the times when they've made an extra effort to stay near you, even if they could have easily chosen a different spot or been elsewhere. It's subtle but meaningful. In the Stoic view, this behavior is not about impulsive desire. It is a calculated, meaningful choice. It is an attempt to build a bond that transcends mere friendship, to silently communicate a deep sense of connection. If you've noticed them always positioning themselves near you in social settings, don't ignore this. It's a powerful sign that they want to be close to you in more ways than one. If you've ever noticed someone seeking your physical proximity, even in the most subtle ways, it's more than just coincidence. It's a sign they may see you as more than just a friend. If you feel this deep connection, drop a comment right now. I value the closeness that speaks volumes. True connections are built with presence, not just proximity. Point number 3. They react differently when you're vulnerable. There's a shift when you share something raw. Unlike a typical friend who might just sympathize or say, "You'll be okay," they go deeper. They lean in, truly present, not just passively hearing, but actively absorbing every word you speak. And then, days later, they circle back. "How's that thing going?" they ask, not because they forgot, but because they've held it with them. They've carried your words, your pain, your fear, your joy, in a way that proves they're more than just a casual friend. This is a sign, a clear indicator that they see you as more than just another person in their life. This is deep emotional investment, something that goes beyond the surface level. In Stoic philosophy, Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your vulnerability, your emotions, how they respond to those is a reflection of their character and their feelings toward you." This phenomenon, known as empathetic tracking, is rooted in the subconscious emotional bond we create when we care deeply about someone's well-being. People who are emotionally connected to you don't just acknowledge your vulnerability, they mirror it, they protect it, they tune in, not merely out of politeness, but because your emotional state has become intertwined with their own. This bond is rare, one that can only be forged through genuine empathy and connection. It's not just about remembering the details of your conversation, it's about absorbing the feelings, the pain, the triumphs, and the struggles you've shared. It's about carrying that with them and bringing it up at the right time, ensuring you feel understood, heard, and seen. Imagine telling them about a difficult family situation or an insecurity that has been gnawing at you. A week passes, and then they ask, "How's that thing going?" This isn't just a casual check-in. This is care encoded into attention, an unspoken understanding that you matter to them beyond the fleeting moment of the conversation. They didn't just listen, they absorbed. They internalized your pain, and now they are offering you a chance to share the progress or the struggle once more. This kind of behavior transcends simple friendship. It is a sign of emotional safety, of mutual respect, and above all, loyalty. They have entered into your vulnerability with you, and in doing so, they've created a space where you can feel safe to be yourself, to express your fears, your weaknesses, and your dreams. This is the essence of true emotional connection, and it aligns perfectly with the wisdom of the Stoics. The Stoic teachings remind us that the path to wisdom is not merely about mastering ourselves, but understanding others deeply. As Epictetus teaches, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. When someone listens and reacts to your vulnerability with this kind of care and understanding, they've shown you that they are not only connected to you, they are in tune with you. They are not letting go of the emotional bond, no matter the distance or the time that passes. They protect your vulnerabilities as if they were their own. And in this world, where connections are often fleeting, superficial, or short-lived, the ability to find someone who demonstrates this level of emotional care and commitment is rare. Don't let it slip away. Don't take it for granted. The paths of wisdom have taught us that the highest form of care is shown through the way one responds when you reveal your most tender parts. A friend can offer a pat on the back or a kind word, but someone who truly sees you as more than just a friend will step into that space with you, will remember, will check in, and will stand by you. This is the person who becomes not only a friend, but a companion in your life's journey. In modern life, we are often surrounded by distractions, social media connections, shallow conversations, fleeting interactions that don't dig deep. Yet, the Stoic path, the path to Stoicism tells us to look beyond these illusions and recognize the power of meaningful connections. The people who demonstrate this level of care for you are the ones who will remain a constant presence in your life. And they won't just stand by passively. They'll support you, help you grow, and hold your vulnerabilities with strength. When someone shows this level of attentiveness to your emotions, when they react to your vulnerability by leaning in, remembering your words, and offering genuine care, they are showing you a level of commitment that goes beyond friendship. They have entered into your emotional world, and this is a powerful bond, one that deserves to be nurtured. You must understand that this is more than just a fleeting connection. This is a path that leads to deeper, more profound emotional intimacy. Do not take it lightly. Don't settle for relationships that fail to offer this level of emotional safety and connection. In conclusion, when someone reacts to your vulnerability with genuine care, when they remember your struggles and ask about them days later, they are showing you that they see you as more than a friend. This isn't just a sign of affection. This is a powerful declaration of emotional safety, loyalty, and mutual respect. The Stoics would have called this wisdom. In modern terms, we call it mastery of human connection. Recognize it, appreciate it, and protect it. The paths of wisdom are clear. Do not settle for less. Only surround yourself with those who see you for who you truly are, and will be there, time and time again, to support you as you walk your journey. You must choose to walk this path of strength, understanding, and emotional mastery. Point number 4. Subtle jealousy wrapped in casual words. When a man silently harbours deeper feelings for you, the signs can often be subtle, easily overlooked, yet deeply revealing when you learn to recognise them. One such sign is subtle jealousy, wrapped up in what seems like casual remarks or playful teasing. Imagine you're talking about a new friend, or mentioning someone else who has caught your attention, and suddenly his tone shifts. At first, you may brush it off as harmless or think he's just joking around. But deep down, what you're witnessing is micro-jealousy, a quietly powerful emotion that a person might not be ready to fully admit, even to themselves. A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology confirms this behaviour, showing that people tend to exhibit low-level competitive behaviour when it comes to romantic interests, even when they're not prepared to openly confess their feelings. This can manifest as teasing, changing the subject abruptly, or becoming quieter when you talk about someone else in a way that seems out of the ordinary. Now, these kinds of comments may sound playful, such as, "Oh, him again," or "Wow, you've been talking about her a lot lately," but don't be fooled by their light-hearted tone. There's more happening beneath the surface. These words may seem innocent, but they are layered with something deeper, an emotion that has been carefully masked under the guise of casual conversation. You might think it's harmless banter, but in reality, it reveals an emotional investment in your life that goes far beyond mere friendship. This kind of behaviour isn't toxic. Rather, it's a window into someone's true feelings, an unspoken desire to know that you are focused on them and not on others. It's a desire for attention, validation, and emotional closeness. If you pay attention, you might start to notice that when this person subtly slips into these conversations, it's not by accident. They may attempt to insert themselves into the topics you're discussing or make comparisons between themselves and the other person. This is where things become especially telling. It's not about trying to control the conversation or manipulate your thoughts. It's about positioning themselves emotionally, placing a quiet stake in your world. This silent action shows they want to be noticed, to be seen, and perhaps to claim a more significant role in your life. The Stoic principles, often emphasizing self-awareness and emotional control, help us understand this dynamic more clearly. A man with an iron mind doesn't act out of impulsiveness, yet he does understand the subtle dance of emotions, both his own and others. Through the lens of Stoicism, we can see that these subtle shifts in behavior are signals of emotional involvement, not just harmless words. This kind of emotional positioning is something that transcends mere friendship, and understanding it requires the wisdom of a Stoic. The Stoic teaches us to be aware of our emotions, to control them, and not let them control us. In the same way, when you see these signs, don't let them slip by unnoticed. It's not about being manipulative or trying to force a particular outcome. It's about understanding the depth of emotional connection that might be at play. The truth is, the way someone reacts to the idea of you talking about another person, especially when there is a sense of jealousy wrapped in seemingly innocent words, is a powerful sign that they care in a way they might not be able to admit outright. You need to be aware, to train your mind in the principles of emotional intelligence and Stoic awareness, because these signs are often not overt. The Stoic teaches us not to jump to conclusions, but to observe and reflect. If you pay attention to the subtle changes in behavior, the shifts in tone, and the little comments that might seem insignificant at first, you'll begin to see the truth of what's beneath them. It's an emotional investment, a quiet claim for a more prominent role in your life, and an unspoken desire for more than just friendship. Don't brush these signs aside. Recognize them. The iron mind of the Stoic understands that emotions often play out in subtle ways, but the true power lies in knowing how to interpret them without being swayed by them. So, observe these hidden signs and pay attention to the emotional positioning that may be occurring. Don't let your own feelings cloud your judgment. Instead, stand firm, observe, and use the Stoic mindset to navigate these quiet yet revealing moments. If you've noticed these subtle signs, you're already ahead in understanding the deeper layers of emotional connection. The Stoic way is about awareness, control, and understanding emotions, not letting them control you. Now it's time to truly recognize these hidden signs in your relationships. Please comment below. I am mastering the art of emotional awareness and understanding. Point number 5. They treat you like a secret priority. When someone secretly sees you as more than just a friend, their actions will often communicate this far more clearly than their words ever could. One of the most telling signs of this is when they treat you like a secret priority. You're not officially their partner, yet it often feels like you are. They make the effort to go out of their way to be there for you, adjust their plans to accommodate your needs, and remember even the smallest details about your preferences. This behavior isn't random, it's intentional, and it reveals how deeply they value you, even if they haven't explicitly labelled your relationship. Psychologist Dr. Lisa Firestone describes this as emotional pre-commitment, where a person starts behaving as though they're already emotionally invested, even before any official romantic label is attached. It's as if they've already embraced what it means to care for you, even if they haven't said those words out loud. It's a practice of love that mirrors Stoic wisdom. Your actions align with your internal truth, even when no one is watching. In modern life, this might show up as something seemingly small, like them sending you a goodnight text every night, but not doing the same for others in their circle. It could also manifest as them checking in with you during stressful moments, offering support and care that they don't extend to others. This isn't just being considerate. This is someone who is treating you differently from everyone else, quietly and consistently, because in their mind, you are more than just a friend. These invisible upgrades in how they treat you are a powerful indicator of their deeper feelings. They may never outwardly declare their affection, but in every thoughtful gesture, in every action they take to make you feel important, they are practicing what it would feel like to love you. These actions speak volumes about their true feelings, even if the words aren't there yet. It's a reflection of practical Stoicism, where a person doesn't need to announce their intentions with grand gestures because their behavior, rooted in genuine care, speaks for itself. In a world that often encourages verbal affirmations and big declarations, the Stoic wisdom here teaches us that sometimes the most profound signals come from the quietest actions. Don't mistake this quiet, deliberate care for something casual or meaningless. It's a clear sign that, even if they haven't said it, they already see you as something more than just a friend. Their actions are their unspoken confession, their subtle yet unmistakable declaration of how much they care. This kind of behavior is a testament to the power of Stoic principles, aligning one's inner truth with their external actions, living as though you're emotionally committed long before any formal commitment is made. It's not about rushing or forcing anything. It's about letting your actions speak louder than words, and in this case, their actions are telling you exactly what they feel. Point number 6. They share their inner world with you, but only you. When a man opens up to you, revealing the core of his being, his fears, his dreams, the childhood trauma he's carried for years, or the career anxieties that have haunted him, this is not something to be taken lightly. He's not just talking for the sake of talking. He's giving you something that he doesn't give to everyone. He's inviting you into his inner world, and this is a privilege few ever experience. This isn't casual bonding. It's far deeper than that. It's a profound act of trust. As the ancient Stoic Epictetus wisely said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Trust, in this case, is not something that's freely given. It's not handed out carelessly. When a man shares his deepest fears and desires with you, when he tells you things he's never shared with anyone else, you are receiving a rare and sacred gift. This is a sign that he views you as more than just a friend. You have earned access to the most intimate parts of his life, the parts of him he's kept hidden from the world. In modern life, where emotional walls are high and personal privacy is often guarded with extreme caution, such a moment is exceptional. It's not just a casual conversation. It's a sign that he trusts you with his vulnerabilities, his weaknesses, and his past. This is no small thing. When he says something like, "I haven't really told anyone this," or "This is something I've kept to myself for years," recognize the weight of those words. He is not just sharing information with you, he's letting you into the fortress of his emotions. This is a man who is revealing who he truly is beneath the surface, hoping that you will accept him, flaws and all. The greatest victory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. These words from the Stoics speak to the heart of what is happening in this exchange. It's not about perfection or the absence of mistakes. It's about embracing one's flaws and rising above them. By sharing these personal truths with you, he's trusting that you will see his strength in his vulnerability, that you won't use his past against him, but rather respect it. You see, this is a man who is letting you into his sacred space. He's not just seeking connection. He's inviting you into his safe zone. He's making you his emotional sanctuary, the place where he feels free to be his true self without fear of judgment or rejection. Think about it. In a world where people are increasingly isolated, where trust is a rare commodity, being the person he confides in is not something to be taken for granted. It is, in fact, a gift. The act of emotional disclosure is a powerful bond, one that carries the potential for deep, meaningful connection. This bond is not built on surface-level conversations or casual interactions. It's forged through vulnerability, through shared truths, and through the understanding that this exchange is sacred. When a man chooses to share his deepest fears and desires with you, he is giving you a piece of his soul. This is not a small thing. It is a demonstration of emotional exclusivity, something that transcends the typical boundaries of friendship. He is offering you his trust, his respect, and his hopes for the future. This trust is not something to be taken lightly. It is something to be protected, nurtured, and respected. This emotional intimacy is one of the rarest forms of connection, and it requires a deep sense of responsibility. You are now the keeper of his most precious truths, and with that comes an unspoken obligation to honor and safeguard what he has shared with you. As you continue on this path, you must ask yourself, do you value this trust? Do you respect the vulnerability he's shown? Are you prepared to hold space for his emotions without judgment, to stand by him as he navigates his fears and his past? These are questions that demand serious reflection, because when someone opens up like this, they are placing their faith in you, and that faith is not something to be squandered. You must become the kind of person who can handle the weight of this responsibility. You must become the kind of person who walks the path of wisdom, who understands that this trust is sacred, and who is willing to keep it safe. The Stoics taught us that true strength lies not in avoiding pain or discomfort, but in embracing it and rising above it. We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. This quote from Seneca reminds us that the fears we carry are often far greater than the challenges we face. When someone opens up to you, they are not just revealing their fears, they are revealing their humanity. They are showing you the parts of themselves that have been wounded, the parts that have been scarred by life's trials. This emotional exchange is more than just sharing stories. It's about creating a space where both of you can be fully present, fully real. If you are the one chosen to walk this path with him, don't take it for granted. Understand the gravity of what he's offering. Don't let this trust slip through your fingers. Embrace it, protect it, and let it grow into something that transcends friendship. When a man makes you his safe space, he is not just connecting with you on an emotional level, he is showing you who he truly is, and he's hoping that you'll stay. This is the kind of bond that lasts, the kind of bond that stands the test of time. It's the kind of bond that leads to real, lasting connection. The path of wisdom is paved with trust, and if you walk it with him, you'll find yourself in the company of someone who has let you in, not just as a friend, but as someone he values beyond measure. Remember, Stoicism wins. When you earn the trust of someone like this, you must hold it sacred. You must rise to the occasion and protect the vulnerability they've entrusted you with. That's the way of true wisdom. If you found this insight valuable, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. Share this with someone who could benefit from understanding the depth of emotional trust. Subscribe for more timeless wisdom. Comment to remember. Strength is in embracing and guarding vulnerability. Point number 7. Their silences speak volumes. Ever notice how some silences feel comfortable with them? It's not uncomfortable, but rather comforting, as if the space between you both is filled with meaning. Then, there are those moments, those key emotional exchanges, when they suddenly fall silent. You might think it's awkward, but it's not. What you're witnessing is a form of emotional hesitation. You see, when someone develops deep feelings for another, they often experience what psychologists call emotional flooding. It's overwhelming, like a rush of emotion they can't quite contain or express in words. Instead of verbalizing it, they retreat into silence. It's like their mind is buffering, processing more than they can manage at once. The silence, far from being an empty void, is a rich space filled with unspoken thoughts, emotions, and realizations. As Dr. John Gottman, a renowned relationship expert, explains, silence between two people can either signal emotional distance or emotional weight, depending on how comfortable they are in that silence. The key lies in the level of comfort during those quiet moments. If they sit in silence with you but remain fully present, it means they're not withdrawing or shutting down. They're processing their emotions and thoughts. Imagine you're walking together, perhaps after a long, deep conversation. The words have slowed, and you both fall into a lull. There's a temptation to break it, to fill the air with something, anything. But somehow, neither of you does. In that silence, there's a sense of mutual understanding, one that doesn't need to be expressed with words. It's as if the quiet is telling a story that words simply can't capture. In that moment, you may feel like you're at a crossroads, unsure whether to speak or let the silence continue. But here's the truth. That silence is often saying more than anything you could articulate. They're not pulling away. They're leaning in, processing their feelings toward you, building something stronger than just conversation. This insight resonates deeply with the Stoic rules, where control over emotions and understanding the power of silence play a central role. It's part of practical Stoicism, where the ability to endure emotional storms without needing to immediately express every thought is not just valued, it's essential. In today's fast-paced world, we often overlook the importance of quiet moments, equating silence with discomfort or awkwardness. But in truth, silence can be a powerful sign of connection, a moment where both parties understand each other on a deeper level than words can express. You must learn to recognize that silence is not your enemy. Don't rush to fill every pause with words or force a response. Instead, allow the space to exist. Take a page from the Stoic philosophy. Be comfortable with discomfort. Let the silence be a space for reflection and connection. When they sit with you in silence, fully present, it's not a sign of disinterest, it's a sign of a deeper, unspoken bond forming. This is the kind of bond that transcends fleeting conversations and grows into something stronger, something far more profound. So, when those moments of silence arise, don't panic or second-guess. Recognize them for what they are, powerful signals of their inner world, a world that is more deeply tied to you than you might realize. When you understand the weight of silence, you'll see that the most meaningful connections don't always need words. And in doing so, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the unspoken rules that govern relationships. The Stoic rules of self-awareness and emotional control aren't just ancient wisdom. They're practical tools for understanding the complexities of human interaction in the modern world. Trust in the silence, embrace it, and recognize it for the message it carries. Point number 8. They show concern when you're facing difficulties. One of the most revealing, yet often overlooked signs that someone might view you as more than just a friend is how they respond when you're struggling or facing challenges. The concern they express is not just a casual, surface-level check-in. It's much deeper than that. It's in the way they make an effort to truly understand what you're going through, how they show up for you in ways that go beyond the typical, "I'm here if you need me" kind of support. When you're going through a difficult time, someone who sees you as more than a friend doesn't just offer generic advice or empty words of reassurance. They take time to really listen, to understand your feelings, and offer genuine support. They might ask thoughtful questions that show they're not just listening, but actually absorbing what you're saying. It's the difference between someone saying, "You'll be okay," and someone truly sitting down with you, letting you vent and showing empathy and understanding. In those critical moments when you're feeling emotionally drained or overwhelmed, this person's response will show how much they care. They might not have all the answers, but they'll do their best to be there for you, making sure you feel heard and supported. This could mean sending you a thoughtful text, checking in with you, or even offering their time or assistance when you need it most. It's in the small gestures, those moments where they go out of their way to make you feel like you're not alone in the struggle. From a Stoic perspective, this kind of concern is more than just emotional expression. It's an embodiment of their emotional investment and commitment to you, not just as a friend, but as someone they deeply care about. The Stoics believed in emotional mastery, and someone who is emotionally attuned to you, who shows up for you when you're most vulnerable, is embodying that principle. They understand that true connection doesn't come from superficial gestures, but from being present in the moments when life is tough. This kind of care speaks volumes about their feelings toward you. It's not just about wanting to fix your problems, it's about standing by your side, offering a shoulder to lean on, and showing that they value your well-being far beyond a typical friendship. It's a quiet act of emotional investment, one that reflects a bond deeper than words. The person who shows concern in this way doesn't need to declare their feelings for you because their actions already speak louder than any verbal confession ever could. Not everyone is capable of this level of emotional care, especially in challenging times. Many people will simply acknowledge your struggle and move on, but someone who treats you as more than just a friend will actively work to ease your burden. They see you in a way that others might not, and their care goes beyond obligation or duty. They've chosen to be there for you because you matter to them, not just when things are easy, but especially when life gets tough. When you're facing challenges and they take the extra step to check in on you, to make sure you're okay, or simply offer a comforting presence, it's a powerful indication of their deeper feelings. It's not just about offering a quick solution, but about showing that they truly value your emotional well-being. So, if you've noticed someone doing this for you, don't take it lightly. This is a person who has shown you a level of care and emotional investment that goes far beyond mere friendship. It's a sign that they are, without a doubt, seeing you as someone who holds a special place in their life. This kind of concern is not always overt or loud, but its impact is significant. In a world where people are often too busy or preoccupied to truly listen and offer support, it's rare to find someone who will be there for you when you need it most. If you've experienced this kind of care from someone, recognize it for what it is, a powerful sign that they care for you in a way that transcends friendship. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of this journey with me today. I really hope these signs gave you some valuable insights into understanding those subtle yet powerful signals people send when they may see you as more than just a friend. It's amazing how these small things can change the way we interpret relationships, isn't it? Now, if any of these signs sparked a memory or made you think of someone in your life, don't hesitate. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. I'd love to know which of these resonated with you the most. Whether you're seeing someone in a new light or just thinking back to a past connection, your experiences are what make this conversation even more meaningful. Let's keep this discussion going. And if this video made you rethink someone's actions, maybe you've noticed things that were previously flying under the radar, hit that like button. It helps us out more than you know. If you want to keep uncovering hidden psychological truths that could change the way you look at the people around you, go ahead and subscribe to Stoicism. We've got so much more on the way to help you understand the fascinating behaviors of the people in your life. Now, a little piece of sincere advice for you. Relationships are complex, and they're built on trust, communication, and sometimes simply paying attention to those little things people do when they care more than they let on. But remember, these signs are just that, signs. They're not guarantees, and jumping to conclusions too quickly can do more harm than good. So while it's important to be aware, don't rush the process. Take your time, trust your instincts, and when you feel ready, have those important conversations with the people who matter to you. If anything, let this video serve as a reminder that relationships, whether romantic or platonic, are filled with unspoken moments that can reveal a lot. And sometimes being able to read those moments can lead to deeper connections and better understanding. Thank you so much for spending time here today. Your support truly means the world. So take care, keep your eyes and heart open, and always be true to what feels right for you. Until next time, stay curious, stay mindful, and keep nurturing the connections that matter the most. See you soon!